Boom. Alrighty, guys. We're here with Chris. I can't stand you. Elliot, Riff, Ricky, myself, and Bento in the corner.
Yeah.
We're absolutely here. Dude, firing after SoCal is amazing. So we'll start off with...
We are fresh off after SoCal. And we have Elliot here. And the way we met you was interesting. If anyone doesn't know, if you've seen Pixel Game Squad, you probably have seen Elliot, but may not put a face to the name of GameTower. We buy stuff from you all the time. But before we get into who you are, how you became all this, I just remember one time as Curtis literally crawls across the floor, Ricky and I were at a swap meet, and these two guys, Elliot and a guy named Chris, approached us and were like, "Hey, we watch your show, blah, blah, blah." And we just started talking. We didn't even know you had a store. I don't even know if you had a store at that time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We started talking since then, and we've kind of hung out with you. But just wanted to give that little brief backstory. But tell us about you. You have GameTower. How long have you owned it? What got you into doing this? And where are you at now?
And your socials.
Yes. Social Security. And your green card identification number. Wait. Quick question. Are you brown or white? Because you look white.
I guess white, but Latino at the same time.
Latina?
He's both.
That's what I heard.
But yeah, I do get that a lot, that people think I'm white.
Yeah.
And even when I go to the swap meets and I'm talking to Latino vendors, they still try to talk to me in their broken English, and I speak to them in Spanish.
Yeah.
So there's like a dialect here, you know?
I kind of get the chameleon bartering too, because a lot of people think I'm Mexican, a lot of people think I'm white, so I kind of I just play into whatever gets me a better deal.
Yeah.
So it's either "Hey brother" or "Hola." You know, I got to do what I got to do.
I just shoved my mayo on the table. I'm telling you what I am.
You have a question.
And can you speak Spanish fluently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Is that like your first language too?
No, English, my first language.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us about GameTower. How'd this start? Where'd it come from? What got you into all this?
GameTower started in March 2018 with my buddy DJ Chris. Before that, we were vendors going to multiple events, multiple expos, and we definitely built a huge community because we were just always game hunting nonstop, just like you guys going to the swap meets. We're always on Craigslist, OfferUp as well. And doing yard sales. So we built up a lot of inventory, and we started going to all these events, buying, selling, and trading, and people like our deals and our personality, and we didn't take things serious, It was just a fun little hobby that we had. And it started to become big out of nowhere because our followers on Instagram literally will tell us, "Yo, you guys should open up a store." And I was like, yeah, sure, I don't know, because, having a store, it's a lot of work, and Chris.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Chris knows.
So I wasn't for it about having a store. I was fine what we were doing, just being regular vendors. And DJ Chris, pushed me to be business partners with him to open up GameTower.
Wow.
And at the time, I think I was probably 25, 26 years old. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm young now. So even if I do fail, it's okay to fail because I did it while I was young.
Your backup plan's still early.
Exactly. Yeah. So we decided to do it. And we opened up the first store in Northridge, California, March 2018.
Wow.
Is Chris still involved with you as a partner?
No. So Chris actually left GameTower a month before lockdown.
Oh, wow. He did? Okay.
Of COVID.
And it was like before he even knew it was going to happen?
But yeah.
Okay, he wasn't
So he missed out on kind of the good times.
Yes. Because I took over, GameTower February 2020. And then the lockdown happened March 2020.
Cha-ching! On my birthday.
Oh, really?
On my birthday is the day that I was eating in a mall and got the thing like, NBA is shut down, this and that. You have to go to your house. And I was like, what is this? And people are like, toilet paper! And I'm like, I was just at the mall like, what's happening? I spent my birthday getting cans at a grocery store because apparently we were all going to die. But
Did you get the toilet paper too? Because remember, everyone needed toilet paper, and
I was in an area where people weren't fighting over toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a good. What happened? Ben keeps looking off to the side. You okay, Ben?
So you could see that TV and camera
Oh, no worries.
Sneaky,
No worries.
sneaky. And
Yeah, we're okay then.
The audience gets a little behind the scenes. You know, the video watchers, audio listeners get waxed. I know,
Maybe.
right? Probably some bad jokes
Just
in there.
bad spelling.
Just Bento up there, producer Bento.
Yeah,
producer
but you
Bento.
like that. You like that.
Reminder for thumbnail.
That's funny.
So at your journey in GameTower, did you feel like you guys were successful out of the gate, or did you feel like it kind of took a while to feel like, okay, we're doing...
Yeah, I would say right off the bat, man.
Wow, good.
Chris and I had to work like double shifts because just the nonstop trade-ins, the foot traffic, promoting the store, all the advertisement, it was just nonstop. And I would say like the first 3 months, we didn't take a day off, and it was just me and him until we decided like, yo, we need a
employee.
We need an employee, man. We need someone just to clean carts, clean the disc, because it's so time consuming. Yeah. And at the same time, we're getting all that foot traffic in, and we had I want to say in the beginning, we were open from like 12 to 6 p.m. We had to extend the business hours. So we actually opened up from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So just the nonstop traffic that kept coming in. So I'll definitely say right off the bat, we were extremely busy.
Nice. I'm just curious, why did Chris leave? Why is he not a partner anymore?
So Chris, his other, I would say main career is he's a DJ, does music, electrical engineer. So he was always passionate about that. I think GameTower is kind of like a second thing for him,
Gotcha.
And, that's totally fine because, in life, you got to figure out what you like, what makes you happy, you know. And his thing was music, know. And I went with him, to wedding parties and all that while he was a DJ and all that. I'll help him set up his lights and his DJ setup and all that. So you can tell, I guess you can say he was more into that, But don't get me wrong, he loves video games. He loves the business aspect
super cool.
of it. But
from being a store owner, I've realized that you have to make it your life. I think any store owner you talk to, it becomes your life. I don't think you can half-ass it.
Yeah,
you can't.
You really can't.
You really
are
have to
GameTower.
go. Yeah.
Good job wearing the shirt too, by the way.
Yeah.
Stay on branding.
I literally got out of work, so I was there this morning, and we were busy. You guys should have seen it today.
What's the best game or thing that ever came into your store?
Ooh, I like that.
And did you wax them?
So I would say the most unique item we ever got at the shop was a prototype cart. It was like the jumbo size N64.
Okay, yep.
It was Batman Beyond.
Ooh, that's a good
nice.
one.
So, and it shows the manufacture date from they were, I guess, making the game in production, and then when you look at the release date, it was a year later. So I was like, oh, so this is what they were using to test the game, And technically, we kind of got that in for free in the shop because at the time, it was a big trade-in, right? A bunch of N64 games.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that jumbo cart, but I didn't pay attention to it. I thought it was one of those cleaning cart
Tough
things.
to tell sometimes.
Like, you put inside a 64. That's what I thought it was.
A lot of them don't have labels on them and stuff. You don't know what they are.
Yeah, and then it was kind of like face down, so I wasn't able to see that it was Batman at the time.
Was it painted? I saw Chris get one and Ben get one, and they were both like spray painted. I was like, wait, why are they always spray painted?
No, it was actually like engraved into the car, and then it was the company Chemco.
Yeah, Chemco.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chemco.
So
Dang, Ben and Chris got fake ones. Got spray painted ones.
Prototypes.
That's right. Ricky and I are still figuring out one that we just got. That Ricky just got. He got one called Street Heroes, and it's like a prototype. Apparently, only 2 have ever been made of this NES game, and Ricky paid up for it. And we were testing it at his house. We're like, it doesn't work. Oh God, I hope something's on here.
Dang.
That's a pretty awesome one, though, Ricky.
That is
You told
pretty
me
sick.
about that.
Did you tell him about the Capcom?
Yeah, did I tell you what the Capcom ended up being? I think I did.
Tailspin. You said.
Tailspin. He got a prototype Capcom cart that just said Capcom. Please return to Capcom when done with game. And we plugged it in, and it was a Tailspin
That's
prototype.
sick.
Yeah.
What'd you do with the prototype? Did you sell it?
So
Keep it?
I actually traded it off to Ryan. Friar
Ryan.
Nice. So if you actually hit him up, I think he has it in his personal collection.
I bought my prototype of the Stunt Racer 3000. I think it is, which I guess was in a game that never came out on N64.
Was
from
it?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be the other Stunt Racer game or something?
I don't know. It was like a precursor to it or something, but
Okay.
it says Stunt Racer.
What was the best thing you ever
3000.
traded into your store? I don't think I've ever asked you.
I had a sealed KO, like the KO or Keo. I'm not sure.
Is that 32X?
Sega CD.
Sega CD.
Yeah, and then I have a sealed Mike Tyson's Punch Out that came in.
Nice.
Some expensive sealed stuff. Yeah.
Elliot, have you ever, and listen, we can be honest here, have you ever unintentionally whack somebody where like it was at the I know you have with because I remember you said that Conker's bad Sculptor's Cut manual was at the bottom of a trade-in that you didn't know was in there until they left.
Kind of like what Elliot said. Yeah, it was at the bottom, and we thought it was like garbage. You know, when you get to the bottom of a bin, and you're like, oh, it's just junk down there. And we were literally cleaning it out, and then it was like, oh my gosh, that's a Sculptor's Cut.
How much is that worth now?
The manual, I think, is like maybe $2,000 for the manual.
Oh my god!
I think
the manual's
it's up there. Yeah, it's
100 or 1,000?
1,000.
Complete or just the manual?
Yeah, you can ask more. Just text him.
Yeah, isn't more.
The manual's the hardest.
I'm gonna look
it's
right
the
now.
hardest thing to get.
I'm gonna look right now.
Well, the crazy part about that story was I had the cart traded in several times. The box came in alone one time, and then the manual. So they were all separate. So it was like the universe.
Price charting has it too.
Frankenstein.
I said two.
So it's like stated events. You can't go off price charting for like the ultra rare stuff.
Okay, Ben
like
says
no-
we can't go.
Ben's a genius on this stuff.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
I guess one important question that I have for you is like when you first started opening up your store in 2018 and then you hit COVID, like what type of business strategy did you have to change to be able to be successful?
So at that time, we didn't have no online source. I never sold anything online because we were so busy. I was so used to customers coming in, right? When COVID happened, obviously I started posting things up on eBay, you know,
Instagram.
doing claim sales on Instagram. It helped out, for a bit, but not much until Whatnot contacted me.
Let's go.
Yeah, Whatnot.
They reached out to you.
Yeah. Well, because my buddy.
I see the jealousy. Wait a sec. They reached out to you?
So my buddy.
Relax, Chris.
So
They never reached out. So I didn't get the call. I missed that one.
So my buddy Tony, Panawan Collectibles.
Yeah.
He was the first one to do Whatnot for the video game category. Because when Whatnot came out, it was just cards and Funko Pops, right?
Right.
And then he told me about it, and I was like, cool, yeah, sure. I never done anything live, you know? So he gave a good word out for me. And then, from there on, they contacted me. They sent me a whole email, and they gave me the whole explanation of how it works. So I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a live Instagram, but with the auction built into it.
eBay with Twitch.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Exactly. So that's how I got into Whatnot, and I'm going to say this. If it wasn't for Whatnot, man, I would have been in a deep hole.
Yeah.
How much percentage of your sales now is Whatnot compared to like in-store sales?
That's a good question.
You run twice a week? Once a week?
I try to do twice a week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I used to do 3 to 4 times a week, but again, we're just so busy. So I would say maybe like 70% in the store and 30% Whatnot.
Okay.
Just because we do it less now, you know. But yeah, man, if it wasn't for Whatnot, I have no idea where GameTower would be.
Wow.
Yeah, because those days of having the doors closed.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, no one can buy from me.
Yeah. And at the same time, I didn't want to let go of my team either. You know?
Because you were in the LA area, right?
I was in the LA area, Santa Clarita area.
And that's LA
Northridge.
County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference too. Like places like us, like Orange County, a lot of places just you can stay open.
I think
LA
I
was
was
much more strict, so you had no option.
Yeah.
Yeah, Huntington Beach for me, I was closed down for I think only a month and a half. Versus, how long were you closed down during COVID? Do you remember?
Well, because each store had a different scenario.
Yeah, every county will treat you different.
And every town was different too, probably.
Yeah, so like Santa Clarita, I would say it was the worst. They're super strict over there. And I'm not too sure about this, but I don't think they're part of LA County, so they're allowed to do whatever they want, you know, with their mini laws over there.
They went off of city ordinances is what it was.
Yeah.
City laws. And that's what basically everybody went off of.
And it also depends even who, like, I mean, it really, everything comes down to like who the person is. Like even, I don't want to say a business, but a business in my family that runs a business down here, like they weren't supposed to be open. And the cops went and they were like, I don't care if you're open. I think this stuff's stupid.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know, and I was like, okay, cool.
No,
They can stay open.
In
you know,
Santa Clarita, it was probably the worst experience for me, and that's probably one of the reasons why we had to close down Santa Crida. That happened December 2021, I think.
That sucks.
Yeah, I can't remember because there's so many damn problems with that city. And at one point, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna open the doors because
like I need money.
Because it's been what 8, 9, 10 months. I can't remember how long we were closed for that store.
And then half the politicians in the area left all their stuff open.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part that would piss people off the most. They'd all have their vineyards open in their stores, and it's like, screw you guys.
I think you told me that, sir, but weren't you trying, they wouldn't let you open. You were trying to say you were a necessity.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, whatever the rules were, it didn't really matter to me because there was a Best Buy down the street from us. They were open the whole time.
See,
yeah, it's like they were.
What is it? Rules for thee, but rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah. It was like Walmart's, Costco's. They were all open.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're Best Buy got in on that, which is so shady. So they were saying that they were a necessity,
exactly,
but
because
you were
they had
not.
toilet paper and food, which is what candy that they sell.
Oh, that's true. They were selling toilet paper towards the end.
I wonder if they did that just so they could say that they were a necessity.
Yeah, wow. And so the
BS.
city sent out inspectors to our store to make sure we were shut down.
So much BS.
I'm not gonna lie, one of them did come to our store while we had it open, and he was giving us a hard time. And I think I had a legit argument, and I was like, well, sir, I will close down my store if you make sure to close down that Best Buy down the street.
Yeah, good for you.
Because they're selling PlayStations, Xboxes, and Nintendo Switches.
Yep.
Yeah. I sell the same thing. The only thing I don't sell is computers and, I don't know, office
Twizzlers.
chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's literally the same business.
Yeah.
The Best Buys and what we do. It's electronics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Is what it is.
So much horse crap during that time.
From there, it got worse, right? Because I remember I didn't listen.
Yeah.
So I just kept the store open. And then they send the sheriff's departments on us to shut down. And they put that stupid paper on the window to revoke your business license and all that.
Oh, my gosh.
And I remember the sheriff going up. And then he put that paper and he just hopped back in his car and he drove off. And I got that paper, ripped it off, and threw it at him.
I have a hard time talking about
because, bro, that thing just pissed me off, you know. And then, that paper I threw at him, I actually picked it up again, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go down to City Hall. So I went down to City Hall like a maniac, and I was like, what is this? You know, going all crazy.
Yeah.
And then some lady basically said that they revoked our business license because we refused to close. So meaning they kicked us out.
I struggle talking about like the COVID times, not about like even COVID itself. Well, that's a whole different story. But like there was so much horse crap going on during that time where the rules were just getting pulled out of people's buttholes.
Yeah.
24/7 every other day. Yeah. Which a whole different story. I refused to follow any of them because it was like almost like a protest against it personally for me. I'm like, this is the dumbest crap I've ever heard of, but that's a different thing for me.
Did you ever think about in hindsight, like going back and like suing the city of like Santa Clarita for that? I almost feel like you would have had a good case.
People did win cases during COVID.
I had a lot going on, you know, because of the other stores too. I did talk to a family friend about, you know, getting a lawyer, but then, you know, I have to take money out of my pocket. I don't think it was, you know, necessary for me to do that. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to focus on the other two stores, transfer all that inventory to the other two.
Yep.
And we'll just go from there, you know. And everything went fine until, well, I'm pretty sure you guys know what happened to LA.
Yep. Which we will talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We have a whole topic section for that.
One of the things that I kind of want to turn around the topic of this one is like, what kind of like led you into gaming? Like, what was like one of those things that like got you to stay into games?
So just, like, you know, every few months you get that new game that comes out, right? So, I have a lot of favorite games, you know, Metal Gear, FIFA, Gears of War, Halo. So
you just named like my top 5 worst games.
Really?
Gears of War is not a top worst game. You're a liar.
Isn't Fortnite your favorite?
Oh god. Okay, listen, FIFA and Metal Gear are some of my least favorite games.
What?
You don't like Metal Gear?
Metal Gear?
I hate them.
What's wrong with this guy?
I have ADD.
I love
so you get me in
Metal
a
Gear.
stealthy game. I'm like, I need to move. But yeah, go ahead, keep talking. Don't let me interrupt. I'm an idiot.
I guess the storyline, right? Because you know they keep adding part 2, part 3, and so on. So, I guess just the storytelling of those games gets you into it, just like watching a movie.
Yeah,
you know. So,
I get that.
And of course in the retro world, right? playing N64 games, of course. You know, Smash Bros. Mario.
What's your favorite game of all time?
GoldenEye.
N64.
Yeah.
Wow. Another game that aged like trash.
I easily put like a good 1,000 hours.
Same, yeah.
Maybe more as a kid with all the cheat codes and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Metal Gear, going on what you were saying, I think Metal Gear, I could be wrong, comments will correct me.
Yeah.
I think it was the first game ever that like hired an actual like director for the story. Mm-hmm. Like, we want to get a real story out of this. Like, we don't just want to, you know.
You mean the PS1 one?
Save the princess, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I give it credit for the story, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say those would probably be the reasons why, like, I'm heavily into gaming, of course, you know. Storytelling. So that's all it is. Yeah.
Did you have like a favorite memory while playing those games?
Probably with my brother before he moved out. He actually, like, I had a small little collection.
Yeah.
He actually passed on his big collection to mine because he's an aircraft mechanic, so he had to go to different schools and go study that. So
Man's man.
he was more of the PlayStation, Xbox guy. I was more of the Nintendo, Sega guy. And then once I had everything, I was able to explore new games, you know. Because, you know, we were, I think we were 9 years apart. So my mom didn't let me play the rated mature games yet. So, I had a, like, Grand Theft Auto. I didn't play that until, like, probably, like, sometime in high school, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I still haven't even ever really played them. I just avoided them and never played them.
Yeah.
So good.
And I hear they're amazing, but it was never my thing. I was like,
GTA 5 is great.
I've heard good word about it. Do you think you'll be able to do it forever?
I'll be honest, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
You, Chris?
I was going to ask you that question too. I've contemplated it. I think I will do it until there is no market left for it, or my
Strictly
legs give
for the
out.
money.
Yeah, I'm fully committed to this. There wouldn't be a business. Not just for the money. Yes, in business you need money to operate.
Yeah.
But I love it so much, and I've dedicated my whole life to it at this point that I don't feel like switching gears.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in for the long haul.
Good.
Yeah. But what is your answer to the question?
If
If you can do it forever.
Forever.
probably not. Just because
The digital market?
the digital market, it's looming over. It's coming. You know, I know you can buy games online, but I'm talking about when it's fully digital.
And then the nostalgia heads like us all start to be too old to whatever.
Yeah.
So give it a time frame. What is your estimate of when? All right, all the video game stores shut down.
12
so
years.
I know. Give me the time. How much time?
12 years.
I don't know, man. I'll say maybe sooner than that. Probably like
Sooner.
2030, maybe. That's like
6 years from now.
I
Dang,
mean,
I did not sign any long-term
Text the
leases.
wife.
hey man, I got a plumbing company, so we're good.
Do you have a backup plan?
Yeah, because my father owns his own plumbing company.
Okay, so you would switch out
before
of it?
GameTower was doing that. So
Gotcha. I have no backup plan.
Real estate it is.
I'll teach you editing. I'll teach you how to
You
edit.
need a plumber.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's been waiting to kind of hear. Oh, you want to go?
Just 6 years, though, huh? You really think it's 6
Yo,
years?
he's stuck on it, dude.
He's so
I got
worried.
scared.
You think that's it, huh? You think that's
The only
soon?
reason why I say that is because customers that come to my store, they're always looking for a console that has a million games in it. That's all they're looking for. So and then I'll explain. Oh, well, usually people do that, you know, underneath the table. They emulate the games. You probably need to find those guys on Craigslist.
Looking for the modded stuff.
Yeah, the modded stuff. You know, so we're getting those
got our
questions a lot.
But how is your, like, over the past year? You don't have to go into specifics, but would you say your numbers are up, down, same?
Definitely up.
Up.
Definitely up. Yeah.
Let's go.
So even being up, because I'm up as well, and like we just had SoCal Gaming Expo and all the vendors crushed it, so people are in the market buying it. You think 6 years, bubble burst, dead, over? I just gotta know. I mean, maybe you're right. I have no idea either. You know what I mean?
Also, too, we got to see what happens with GameStop.
I was going to ask you about GameStop. Yeah, like your opinion on have you noticed them getting much more into the retro gaming community recently? I have.
Yeah, they're definitely increasing their buyback list. So I definitely seen that. But also too, just because I read a lot of like their Business Insider and what their quota every month and what they do per year, but they're still closing stores, month by month, whether they close one or two. So it's definitely shrinking. I don't know if you guys know, but the CEO is the owner of Chewy.com.
Yep.
So
Ryan Cohen, I think it's Ryan Cohen.
So if you see his business model, he only has warehouses and he just ships out to your house. He's going to use that same format with GameStop at one point.
So I think GameStop had tried that business model, that's Ryan Cohen. He wants to do everything online, and I think he but he worked his way into GameStop CEO, and then he thought, okay, we'll turn this into an online company, which really didn't make sense because you have 4,500 retail stores.
Yeah.
What I've seen recently is I think they're pivoting now and saying, okay, we're not going to do all online retro, and they're going to start putting it in stores.
Right.
Which they've never. I think they've done it a little bit, but I think that us as video game store owners and the other thousands of video game store owners across the country has caught GameStop's attention.
Yeah, definitely.
But my opinion on it, I think they might be a little bit too late to the game now.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think stores like mine and yours and the other thousands and Rick's and all these game store owners we know are so much more ingrained in the community than I think GameStop ever could be.
Yeah.
So I'm not as afraid of GameStop now as I think I was years ago.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, because, even if they do go out, like they close all brick and mortars, which I believe they will pretty soon, I'll say in the next few years, we'll definitely see an increase of foot traffic, but I don't know. Since they're sold nationwide, it really depends if physical games are still going to be valuable versus the digital games. You get what I'm saying? Because
I get what you're saying.
I have people that do I know people that work at GameStop, and they tell me all the time that when they don't have something in stock, they just tell the customer to buy it online. Sometimes they don't even sell systems at brick and mortar stores.
Well, what I've found, and you probably found this too over the last 10 years, is people always ask, are you competition with GameStop? And I'm like, no, we're not competition. I go, GameStop sends us so much business.
Yeah, exactly.
And in fact, what I've done when I would open a new store in an area, I would go to the local GameStops. I'd be like, hey guys, by the way, I just want to introduce myself. I have a video game store down here.
Send them my way.
Yeah. And we get so many referrals, but that might stop if now all of a sudden they become more of a retro game.
Get out of our turf, bro.
Yeah.
Stay out of our lane.
And you are right, though, that they have, I don't know if they have 4,500 stores anymore because they've closed a bunch, but they still have a wide network.
Yeah,
and are in so many markets that they certainly could impact us if they decide to become more like all-encompassing retro video game stores.
Yeah.
Which, one other thing I heard recently is that GameStop had reached out to a convention to ask if they could be a vendor at a retro gaming convention.
Yeah, it's Retro Rick.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should mention it. Retro Rick said that.
At his convention they asked.
No way.
They asked him that. And he he just told me that a couple days ago, and I'm like, what the heck?
All I replied is, you're going to get a good video title out of that. That's all that matters in my world for him, is making a good video out of it.
But that's the first time. I think I remember years ago, GameStop, I think they ran their own convention at one point.
They did.
You guys remember that? Remember they had something?
Anaheim Convention Center in 2016.
Oh, it was out here.
2016.
You went to it?
Yeah, I was there with my brother.
What was it? Like, what kind of show was it?
There were just any new release games, and they were giving out free games. There was even like Just Dance was whatever the performance they were doing.
Nothing
back then.
compared to SoCal.
So it was like an E3 type thing they were trying to do, and then they shut it down.
Exactly, yeah.
But this is them actually trying to go to a clearly retro gaming convention to vend.
Rick should just steer them in the wrong direction and tell them all wrong information about everything.
Just sends them to an empty field.
So they give them wrong information when they're like, so the retro scene, what are they into? Just say like they're into Just Dance. That's the hot game. Like, just steer them wrong. So when they go into the retro scene, they're just completely off and screwed up and stay out of everyone's way.
Yeah.
What I find interesting about that would be awesome is that has got to that's got to come down from corporate. It's not like the local GameStop. It's like, we want to do a game. Like somebody in corporate was like, we're going to vend at Retro Rick's Expo. That's a corporate.
No one knows the name. I'm like helping him make flyers and stuff, and I'm like, Rick, what's the name of your convention again? He's like, dude, come on. Which is Retro Fest, by the way.
Retro Fest.
Retro Fest in the middle of Arkansas.
I think everybody's going to call it Retro Rick's Expo.
For sure.
It's all going to be called. transitioning to what I wanted to talk about earlier, guys. The SoCal Gaming, kind of like a recap. Tell me about being an owner and a vendor, guys. How was it?
Let's let Ricky start. So we just ran SoCal Gaming Expo. It's over. The dust has settled. We've picked ourselves up off the floor, quite literally, at certain points of the expo. Curtis too.
Yeah.
Curtis was literally on the ground.
Every night we were out.
Tell everyone your thoughts. Go ahead, Ricky. Break us into this. SoCal's over.
SoCal's. I miss it. Truth be told, now I miss it.
Same here, man.
I was terrified right before it, and then when it was finally we were setting everything up, I was like, "Oh, dude, we got this. This is gonna be so good." When it was all set up, I honestly, it was probably like one of the best feelings. I almost got emotional. I was like, "Oh, this is the best."
Tell the people your role in SoCal. What was your main role?
I'm in charge of the vendors and what logistics guy.
Vendors and logistics. Ricky, you were the best logistics guy ever. I've never seen a truck packed so good.
He literally played Tetris.
Yeah, it was Tetris in a truck, and it was
So yeah, that was me, and just answering back to any vendors, anything they needed. Stuff like that. I was just that Friday was like my my Everest. It was everything had to be perfect. It was
you and your brother and Nelly, his wife. You guys did an awesome job in the back. Props to all three of you. You guys were back there.
I was like, oh my gosh, it was
every
awesome.
vendor making sure it was smooth. It was a nice to watch your role because everyone kind of has their role in this, right? Like there's 4 owners, Lance as well, who was here on the last podcast. But it's like, you kind of be like, okay, but what about when showtime hits? Like, how is this all going to play out? But it was cool to see everyone.
You did an awesome job with it, Rick, because, for you guys, it's your first time running an expo. So there was a lot of me sitting with you, showing you vendor stuff throughout the year.
Thanks, Chris. Chris was patient with me.
and it's a long, big task, keeping track of, we had, 230 plus booths.
Yeah. And emails were
crazy.
constant.
That's crazy.
Constant questions and emails
and
calls
adjustments.
And adjustments at the end.
And I mean, what I was saying to you from the beginning is make sure you are slow and diligent because all it takes is overselling one booth,
dude.
Right? And then somebody shows up and goes, "Where's my booth?" And we don't have a booth for them.
You're like, right this way. So you lead them to the exit. You lead them to the exit and lock the door. Through this door.
That was my biggest fear because I think we did get one vendor that out of nowhere, snuck in. I was like, where'd this vendor come from? And at the end, they never ended up coming. I was like, thank God.
We figured it out. There was an application that was they later, we didn't know they even paid, is what happened. And then they were like, oh, hey, we're here. They didn't show up.
They were allowed to pay a week before the show. I was like,
right.
So why'd you guys screw up? I'm just kidding. Chris, why don't you tell the people maybe Lance's role, he's not here, and then your role, and I'll go through mine and all that kind of how it went. And so we'll talk to Elliot too, by the way, as a vendor after as well too.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your experience. So Lance and I are generally kind of operations guys, overseeing the contracts with Pasadena, electrical, all the internet requirements. A lot of the setup of the tournaments. I work with a lot of the tournament organizers. All the Smash stuff that was there, working with Vince and the Tetris.
That was
stuff.
a great setup, by the way.
Thank you.
That whole tournament section, great.
Floor plan is a big one. Lance learned CAD, so Lance and I spent a lot of time doing CAD stuff, and kind of just overseeing everything. A little bit of all of it,
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you do?
What do you do?
Sell tickets. Media, everything you see from every video to every pushing, people to remind them where to go, how to get tickets, voice actors, guests. My heart, this obviously isn't the only thing I did, but it was in the skateboarding thing. It's just something I was very adamant about and wanted to put together, which Thank You was a huge success. I was showing Chris and the guys after in a private group. I mean, getting them screenshots and videos. I mean, it was really cool. The skateboarders themselves, the pros, all reached out to me individually and was like, dude, this was one of the most hype crowds we've had.
Yeah.
Because everyone was just so excited, and thank you to everyone who attended because you guys were excited. It's hard. We were talking at dinner before this, you want to create something. It's almost I think of it in YouTube, right? I take what I learn on there and strategize it into this. You want to create a video and a thumbnail to when someone's scrolling through YouTube, they're too interested not to look. So I said, I want to apply the same thing to the skateboarding. I want it, to be loud and people yelling and skaters to be going wild and microphones. And, you create an event that people have to look at. And I feel like it was such a fun. It was so cool to watch videos back and everyone's like, you've never seen this at a gaming expo.
Yeah.
I referred to you as our hype man, and you are the best hype man ever. You helped sell the show, and it's not like hyping people into like, oh, you're not gonna have a good time. It's just showing like this is gonna be an amazing time. Make sure you come. Yeah, and I think that you did such a fantastic job of like highlighting all the different pieces of it, whether it was the guests or the skateboarding or whatever it was, with the show. So,
well, you as well, but I think we should ask an outsider perspective on honest opinions. You've been to a bunch of SoCals, you go to events all the time. How was your experience? You don't have to like give us a grade or anything, but how was your experience overall? You vended there, you got a big booth. We'll also talk about something interesting that happened at the end of the show. Too. Something that we will tease this. We will tease this. There was something that happened at the end of the show. It was pretty wild, but not as big of a deal as we thought it would be. But it was okay. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what was your experience overall? Kind of.
The vibe, the atmosphere, how packed it was, man. Like I had to bring an extra guy to my vendor booth because there's so many damn people. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. I was definitely say the skateboard ramp brought a lot of attention, and you can hear everyone cheering, just like we said earlier. That's something unique, something I would say never been done before. The voice actors, all the other guests, the YouTubers too, because everyone that we watch on YouTube was there, and I was just like, oh, this is crazy, John Riggs, and of course, my twin brother, right?
Retro Rick. Retro Rick. The 4'2" version of you. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to unsee that
now. when I saw him at the expo, he's like, thanks a lot, man. Now I look chunky now.
Yeah, because he admits it. He put on a little weight, and you lost a bunch of weight. So. Yeah.
But no, I love Rick, man. He's a funny dude. And then I was actually excited to meet Chase.
Chase, okay, yeah.
I never met Chase either.
Good guy.
A good guy.
Good group of guys. They're good.
Yeah.
They were great.
The whole
They're
crew
awesome.
there, that was dope, man. So
we interesting what we noticed too, and it was a big thing that a lot of YouTubers talked about in their videos. Watching back, of course, I'm searching SoCal, seeing what everybody's saying. Something we're really proud of is that almost every YouTuber that was filming on Sunday was like, "This is not what Sundays look like."
Yeah,
like this is a very busy Sunday.
Yeah,
I think what happened was Saturday night, because I'm always looking at the ticket sales and stuff. And Saturday night, like late after the show ended at 8, there was a huge purchase of tickets for Sunday. I think the word got out from everybody having such a good time on Saturday during the day.
Like, this is a good show.
And like everybody sharing stories and vendors and everybody talking about it, that a lot of people that I think maybe were like, oh, I'm going to skip on this, or I don't know how it's going to be, came and bought tickets that night, which is why Sunday was just packed.
It was packed.
It was as packed as Saturday, which you never see that.
Dude, we were out there till like 1, still wristbanding people.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Dude, there was people walking in at literally at 4:30.
It was awesome.
When it closed at 5 on Sunday, people were buying tickets at like 4:30. Like, we want install, we want 30-minute power minute. And I'm like, let's go. I mean, it also helps too.
They were discounted, but
we didn't announce, I mean, obviously, Logan Paul showed up, that Matan showed up.
Rhino
the comedian showed up. I mean, there was a bunch of like celebrity names who showed up,
that was dope, man.
It was really cool. It's like, okay, we're being seen.
I went to use the bathroom, and right when I come out and see Logan Paul there, I was like, what?
Yeah.
What was this on the list?
Maybe we tell the whole story of like how that went down. Cause like, are you curious? Do you even know how like that happened? Why he was there?
Well,
or
you told me a little bit about it.
Yeah. Tetris. Kind of the meaning. But go ahead, Chris. You can jump in a little bit.
So basically, he was there working with Palmer Luckey. Do you know that name?
Mod Retro.
He owns a company now called Mod Retro, but he's the founder of Oculus VR.
Oh, okay.
Is what he is.
Yeah,
so he's there. He's a billionaire because he sold, of course, the Oculus to Mark Zuckerberg. I think that's the story, anyways.
Yeah.
And so he started a new company called Mod Retro, which is kind of like a competitor. I want to almost say to your like.
It's FPGA based, just like analog.
Just like analog, yeah. So it's new Game Boy systems, and he might create. This is a big like sponsor.
Who wants the sponsor?
But anyways, he was there with his new company, and he was having Logan Paul basically promote it.
Okay.
So he came and he was there on Friday, and like you said, we didn't announce it or anything.
We decided more against it because just, there's a number of reasons, not anything against him or, but just there was some reasons where like, it might not be smart to announce him.
Right. So we didn't
Not negative about him personally. Nothing to do with that.
No, he was a great guy. It was cool to meet him and shake his hand and everything.
Parking, security, all that could have got crazy.
There was a lot of security stuff with it. Yep. So he came and basically they filmed an episode of Impulsive, their podcast, in a side room. And then he came out and the Tetris crew didn't know he was going to come. And a little bit of it might have been scripted, maybe kind of.
And
like
we were all backstage with him,
style.
like hanging out, getting them doing their thing.
And then he came out and was then like special guest announced and basically competed in Tetris and lost to Blue Scooty, who's the big Tetris guy.
And Chris Tang.
But he's really
he won to Chris Tang
against Chris Tang.
But he's really decent at
He's really good at Tetris.
We were talking to his manager and the crew, which, by the way, I will say, obviously Logan Paul's a controversial name, right? There's people who love him, people who hate him, this and that. I've never been the kind of guy that like follows that kind of stuff. I just meet people in person and see how I feel. I will say him and Mike and their guys were
so nice,
extremely nice. Didn't have any problem like chatting for 20 minutes. They wanted to know more about the convention and stuff. So
yeah, they actually had such a good time there. They were talking about coming back on Saturday just to hang out.
Yep.
They didn't end up coming back. I'm sure they're busy.
They could have. It'd be so many issues with them.
Right.
They couldn't walk around. Logan could not walk around.
But it was cool to have him there. It was a pretty cool vibe.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah.
Something interesting that happened at the end of the day. Did we talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really not as big as a deal as like it felt in the moment. But long story short, we don't want to get into too many details because we don't want to like put certain people's names like, on the limelight. Let's just say there was some beef back and forth between a couple vendors, which again, we talked to, people after who run conventions and shows. This is normal, right? We thought like, oh my gosh, this thing happened and people were beefing and people are like, that happens, dude. Like that. You have, 300 vendors in there. People are going to disagree on things and beef happens and stuff happens. Long story short, very long story short.
This is crazy.
A guy takes off his shirt, one of the guys beefing.
Oh, man.
And apparently we get told, Mikey and Gabo get told, hey, he has a knife. People start yelling, he has a knife. His shirt's off. He's yelling. So Gabo and a few others kind of escort him out the building. They escort him out.
Right.
At that moment, I'm with Ricky. His wife walks over and she's like, hey, Aaron, Ricky, just want to let you know this situation's going on. This guy took off his shirt, blah, blah, blah. They said he has a knife. So Ricky and I walked over there. I don't know where you.
I was behind you, but I ran into someone else, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's up?
Okay.
And then you went over there.
So I went over there, and I'm walking over there, and I'm like, okay, better check the situation, check on the vendors. You okay? I guess there was a scene that happened. Everyone okay? But apparently the guy got back in, and he was like, he needs his keys or whatever it is to get out of the place, right? Someone kicks you out. I get that. You need your keys. You can't leave if you don't have a way to get out of here. And when I'm standing there, not saying anything, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on him. I'm like, okay, let's make sure everything's, everyone's cool. And he's going to leave. And he just stands up right next to me and just yells as loud as he can and just sucker punches someone. I don't want to say their name or anything, just sucker punches him. So, and I'm like, oh my God. Luckily, this happened. Everyone was out. It was just vendors left in the hall, right? It didn't mess anything up with attendees, anything like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. So my brain immediately, it's like almost like when people say like their life flashed before their eyes with like death. Mine was like thinking as logically as I could, as fast as I could, like, there's other vendors. What if he does have a knife? What if he punches someone else? What if a little kid gets punched? What if people get, and it goes crazy. So I was like, okay, what I need to do is I just grabbed the guy immediately, took him to the ground fast, nothing aggressive, just got him on the ground. Everyone starts yelling, he has a knife. And I'm like, okay, I need to grab his arms. I start spreading his arms and I'm like, don't reach in your pockets, blah, blah. Just, being calm, not punching him or anything. And then all of a sudden I look up and there's Gabo's on the guy with me, Mikey, and you.
Yeah.
How did you get
I don't know where
there?
Elliot came from. And all I was thinking, dude, I look up and I see everyone filming and it's just Pixel Game Squad on the floor holding someone down. I'm
Right
like,
behind him.
Oh, you were behind.
okay,
him.
so that, I didn't know. I literally did not see where you came from.
I think you got him from his left arm.
Yes,
I got
I
him
was
from
on-
the waist and we threw him down.
So you were okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you helped me take him down.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Okay, see, I didn't know because it was like right when it happened. So I grabbed him, threw him down. I didn't know if there was any other leverage with me or whatever. But again, the most important thing in the situation for us was to make sure that, we're keeping everybody safe.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And the other vendor did get upset and try to jump back on and start fighting and stuff, like kind of hold him back.
Yeah.
But in reality, as a show owner, we were in good graces with Pasadena. They were very thankful for the way we reacted and how things went. The vendors were too. I actually walked around and talked to pretty much every vendor after it happened. You guys need to know any of the story. You guys okay?
Yeah.
But our main goal is yes, the 90s kid in me and the normal person I am, yes, everyone get on, let's beat the crap out of someone. Because that's what you do. You start beef, you don't, what is it? Stay out of the kitchen if you can't take the heat or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's let's just keep everybody as safe as possible, keep his arms spread. And I will say, we did realize that, I think the guy had a little bit of something going on with him, a little bit mentally. As soon as I realized that when he's on the ground and he was yelling, I started rubbing his back almost. Not because I just didn't think because of the mental state that he was in, he was going to he wouldn't actually be able to calm down mentally, almost something above him at that point. So I was rubbing his back, we're not trying to hurt you. And he said something what I do. And I'm dude, you made a big mistake. You sucker punched somebody. There's a lot of people pissed off at you right now. Just stay calm. Everything's going to be cool. Obviously, I'm pissed at him and want to kill him, but we're not going to do that. We're show owners. We have to think bigger picture. I see Ricky talking to security, which we will figure things out on our end as far as, upping certain things to make sure everyone feels good. But it was a wild situation in the moment.
I don't know if you remember, but while we had him down, he still said to the other vendor, "I will kill you." Right when we were on top of him, he still said it.
I don't even remember that. Wow. He said that.
He did. He said all the stuff, but he literally said,
and people were yelling he has a knife.
Yeah.
And I started pulling his stuff out of his pockets and putting it back just to make sure. And I told him I'm pulling out your thing. Okay, it's a wallet. I'm putting it back.
Because in that moment, I was like, wow, he's pinned down and he's still making threats. That's crazy.
With 4 guys on him.
Exactly.
Well, and the cops showed up really quick. I ended up coming up behind you guys after as he was being carried out.
quick.
The cops were there immediately. And then, as far as we know, there was no knife that was ever found.
We never saw a knife.
No knife. There was nothing.
Which again, that's why it was such a hard balance for us. Do I knock his, do we knock his block off or do we hold? The best thing to do is what we did. Thankfully, we all thought very rationally in a moment where we don't want to think rationally, right?
Yeah.
We almost made it through the whole weekend unscathed.
Yeah.
With not a single issue until that was at 5:01.
But you know what I heard? But you know what I heard in the end? Vendors, Pasadena, and everyone saying it's almost a good, some people were saying it shows that you guys care about the show, the way you guys reacted and didn't stand back and let a giant mega. I mean, imagine what would happen if you stood around, right? A mega fight could have broken out.
Right.
What if his friend goes to swing and misses and punches the girl that's working?
That would have been bad.
And that's what I mean. And then it can get out of control really quick. As much as in my life, I've always wanted to do a giant saloon fight. Every time I watch one of those movies, I'm that is a dream scenario.
Oh my gosh, there would have been smashing of people would have been grabbing Nintendos and smashing them on people's heads.
I just Ricky standing on top of the table and it just dives on. Ben's chucking people across the floor.
I
So many consoles you could have grabbed.
Lance missed the entire thing. The other show owner.
I was right there. I came up afterwards, right away.
Dude, an hour later, Lance finds me, show owner, and is where have you been? I haven't seen you. I'm I thought he was joking. I'm oh, And he's no, where have you been? And I'm do you really not know what happened? He's no, where have you been? And I'm Lance, come here, dude. I gotta tell you the story, bro.
Me and Lance, as soon as 5 hit, we broke down the entire show by 6.
Yeah.
We were done.
And we would have helped you, but...
Oh, no, we didn't even know what was going on. We were just in our own zone. We were just boom, 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 task after task, knocking it out.
But like Chris said, we almost made it with 0 issues, but I don't look at it as I consider an issue something we... Ricky massively screwed up the vendor thing, or I messed up the skate ramp and 4 of them got brain injuries. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that's ugh.
Yeah, that one was totally out of our control.
Yeah.
And you guys did a great job of handling it.
This guy.
Everybody remain calm. I really was. There's little Instagram clips, and you can see me holding down with one arm and the other hand. I'm this. I'm please stop. I actually have a picture of that. I don't know if we'll be able to.
Now going through the entire show, in its entirety, what would you guys say that you'd make adjustments next year towards, or something that you might implement better?
So right away after the show, we take generally. I felt we all needed a break right? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm extremely like. Actually, Monday we had to unload, right? I felt pretty good Monday.
There was no break, yeah.
Right, so we unloaded Monday, still felt good. Tuesday still felt good. Wednesday, I got hit pretty hard. And I'm sure you guys felt it. You said you felt all right. But it is you're a running maniac. So you don't but there is a huge energy expulsion, I guess is the word. So we take usually about a week off right before we even started talking about the show.
Yeah.
But at the end of, so it's a week after now, generally about a week. Like on Friday, I finally reached out to Pasadena. The next thing is, finding dates for next year. It looks like we'll probably be that same weekend in June.
Yeah.
We are not going to announce that, but that most likely is going to be the same weekend at Pasadena. And to answer your question, like already talking about expanding, right? Like we had... How many vendors were not allowed to get in, Ricky?
We had close to towards the end, we had close to 100 people, 100 vendors waiting.
100 vendors on a wait list.
Like a waiting list?
Waiting list.
Wow.
It was crazy. Dude, we got
That's
50
massive.
just in the last week. I was like, dude, everyone's like, put me on the waiting list. I'm like, you're not going to get in. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'll put you on the list, but you're not getting in. I'm like, we don't have that kind of space.
We were to the brim with vendor booths to the point where there was nowhere left to put any. We were putting them out in the lobby and hodgepodge areas, but that was it. It was full. You were on the vendor floor, So we're looking at additional space. There's another exhibit hall at Pasadena, a couple of them that you can expand to. Potentially a 3-day show. Some vendors asked for a 3-day. I'm not sure your opinion on it.
Elliot wants more money.
So going like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We were technically kind of like Friday, but it wasn't really open to the public. It was like Tetris qualifying.
Can I get like a Segway for next year?
No, you know what? Those little foot things are awesome. I've seen people.
Although we did have 40 skateboards lying around, you could have just
Chris said he walked, I think, 12 miles a day.
Every day
Slacker.
for 4 days. It's like I run that. I run that in an hour. So that's the biggest things we're working on right now.
And we would never want to come off to we ran the perfect. We're perfect. We obviously are on a high from it. There were a lot of good compliments, but we always want to make sure that we're improving too.
Yeah.
Always want to be willing to improve and do. There's always going to be things we can do better, of course.
We tried to get people in as fast as we could. We had a whole team out there. I thought we did a good job, but I did hear a few people say hey, I waited in line for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but that line literally went around the building, down the building. It took me, I filmed it, and it took me 4 minutes to walk around to the end of the line.
It was a long, long line. I will say, as far as attendance goes, yes, we're not going to give away all numbers and stuff, but it was very well attended.
Community really showed love too.
Yeah, and we do any feedback, please. I'm open to hearing it. If somebody says they waited a long time in line, then we want to solve. So that.
I don't want to again. I never want to come off like we're tooting our horns or anything, but I also want to give us props where I feel like we can. One of the coolest things for me is as everybody knows, Caleb is one of the most loved and hated people in the world because he's just too honest. Ben and I were talking in the car before here that he's just so honest. If you are a kid that smells funny and you're lying in your deathbed, he'll tell you smell funny. He'll be honest with you. And Caleb, at the end of the convention, we're sitting there and it's late at night, and he just looks up at me and he's like, I hate. He said something along like, I hate saying good things to you, but he's like, it's the best convention I've ever been to, man. And I was like, that's really cool to hear from him because he's so honest about the way he feels about things. He wouldn't, if he didn't like it, he would genuinely be like, dude, your convention wasn't very good. So when he said that, I was like, wow, that's really big words, That's the greatest takeaway from the weekend that I get, too, is obviously when we're at the show, we are meeting so many people. And everybody I was talking to was just having such a good time and saying it was amazing. And then, of course, we get feedback after the show of how good of a time they have. And I've always said with the expos that they are a labor of love, right? 100%.
How much, I mean, if you counted all the hours that we put into that show and actually what we make and divide it, I don't know. Yeah. It might be a low number.
When you take the hours.
It might be $3 an hour or something like that. You know what I mean? But
worth
it's worth
every
it all
hour.
Because when we I feel like bringing the community together like that, and I felt like Southern California, for the amount of the community, the amount of people that are in the community to not really have a show like that, I felt like we were doing our part to bring that to SoCal. And I think it showed.
And all the people who came from outside of SoCal, that was great. There's a huge influx of people from outside of SoCal, which was wonderful to see. So next year, though, we're not slowing down. Bigger and better and crazier things.
More.
I'm so excited.
And we have crazy things coming. So
I've already said that analogy. We might need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
You know,
We have more-
Pasadena's only has so much room for expansion.
Yeah.
I think we'll end up utilizing everything there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for a first show, you guys absolutely did amazing. Like, just the fact that, like, the vendors showed out, the community was fantastic. I thought all the gaming competitions you guys had going went successful. Like, they were happy. And I feel like, you know, going forward, you can only grow from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a few things we did want to work. The skateboard ramp was such a huge hit.
Yeah.
So we did want to, like,
We're expanding it a little
kind
bit.
of expand that, right? Get some
Couple more
other-
things to skate. Not taking over. Again, retro games will always be first and foremost vendor retro game sellers.
There's going to be X Games in there.
like the big Alpine.
2 years later, it's just nothing but skateboarding. No, it will not be like that. But yeah, that was spectacles. I love spectacles.
And had you guys ever seen the Tetris finals before? I don't think you said you'd ever seen them.
I've never seen it that crazy before. I went
Have you
to
ever
intense.
seen them? Like
Yeah.
at Portland? Have you ever been up there and seen it?
I think in Arizona they had one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's
regional.
Yeah,
Those are regional.
Yeah, regional. Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing that, I think for a lot of people, that was their first time seeing it.
Yeah.
And the way it was at Portland, if you'd ever seen it at Portland, was it was in like a side room. Not nearly as big as it was at SoCal. And we
this year.
really, I think, showcased that. And the crowd on Sunday for
Unreal.
that, it almost took over the whole ballroom.
We quite literally made an audible last minute where like me and Chris were talking to Vince, who runs the Tetris tournaments, CTWC, great guy, he's been on the podcast. He was like, basically like he grabbed my shoulder at one point and he's, you know, super tall guy. He's like, Riff, we're going to need more room for this tournament just for the final part. Cause we had to give him a ton of room. And I ran to Chris and, you know, always thinking the bigger picture. Let's remove this area. We got the free play area broken down in like 10 minutes
10?
with
That
like
was
awesome.
15 guys.
10.
Boom.
Yeah, you
It
were
was
part of
gone,
that.
clean, organized. The owners were there like, you guys just killed us. And just filled with people.
That normally takes us like a good solid hour after the show, maybe an hour and a half to break that down. And we,
Telling you, man.
15,
Now we had
10
French, we
minutes.
had Marcus, we had Caleb,
Oh.
we had Chase breaking down.
Chase, the whole
Dave.
team
I
was
wanted
doing
to
it.
say thank you to the volunteers. You,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yeah, no, they
and
were
Ben.
awesome.
You guys are so instrumental.
And all the other volunteers.
We had the best volunteers I've ever seen.
We were running on
They
bare
were
bones, too.
amazing. Yeah, and like your parents were there volunteering. My wife is there. Your wife's helping out. So it really is like a family
Everybody
affair.
was
family.
working.
My parents, everybody met my mom.
Curtis's mom was there. Curtis's mom.
I actually love Curtis's dad.
Curtis's
cool.
dad.
Oh, he's
yeah.
great. They're all awesome.
But the volunteers, you guys, if you're listening, you guys are so instrumental in helping out with everything with the show.
Clutch.
So
Yeah,
thank
we
you
wouldn't get
so
through
much.
that line, the outside that was wrapped
We
around.
wouldn't have got through most anything.
It's crazy.
Literally.
Yeah, great job to you, Curtis, too. Curtis was up front just like sweating. At the end of the expo,
I learned.
there was a period of time where I couldn't find Curtis, and I'm walking, and the expo's over at this point, let me make it clear, and I'm walking through the hallways like by the front door, and I just see this dead body on the floor. And Curtis is legitimately blacked out cold, just dead for an hour.
Going nonstop the whole expo.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I was looking at cause I'm not trying to kill anybody that's volunteering, man. But like as soon as they leave their shift, I was like, I'll cover it.
Yeah.
Like, and it just felt like because I didn't have a lot, I was like, I'll cover you. Just go have fun. Go
Yeah.
have fun.
You worked, bro.
It was great.
Yeah, and your role was, of course, volunteer coordinator is what you are. So you're working with those guys left and right. And
You
which is-
crushed it.
I was working with the fam. That was the best part too.
Yeah, you got to work with all the families. You got to work with all our
I
families
saw
up
him
there.
running around.
Yep, he was running.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I just want to say you guys did amazing. So.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
do you like cereal?
I don't. I'm not even going to say yes.
No, I'm
'cause I
not.
don't know what
No,
it is.
it's not a nuts joke. I wish I would have had one now.
I do love cereal.
All right, let's
a lot.
Elliot, why don't you pick a number between 1 and 10, and we're going to rank different cereals from S to F. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7.
This might become a hot debate on these.
This is such a good one.
Okay, Curtis, you started.
Dude,
What's your
I
ranking?
would murder these bad boys. It's an A for me, dude.
Cocoa Pebbles.
100%.
Okay.
Ricky?
Dude, this is not my thing.
No way. It
This
turns into
is-
chocolate milk after.
I understand, but dude, it gets soggy so fast I can't even enjoy it. I don't like
agree.
soggy
I agree
cereal.
with you.
Mushy
Dude, it's
instantly.
like having oatmeal, and then at the end is cool though.
What's your
So-
ranking?
Chocolate oatmeal.
Curtis, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put this at a D, bro. I'm sorry. Dude.
No worries, brother.
And Riff is jumping in with a solid D as well. Actually, I should probably preface this for this whole thing. I eat cereal different than most people. I pour a bowl of milk and only pour in a little cereal at a time. Pour in a little cereal, eat it, so it's fresh. Pour in a little more cereal, eat it. I never fill a bowl.
Liquid
And it's
first, solid after.
It's always fresh.
At least you're not the
bites.
milk before the cereal. That's fine with me.
So D. Elliot,
Uh,
you got to give it a ranking.
Oh, it's going even lower. I can tell by Elliot's face.
wait, what's the lowest ranking?
F.
Fail?
S is best. Look at the ranking, and then goes down to F.
Yeah, probably D. Yeah.
D.
Jeez Louise,
Just like what
man.
Ricky said, it becomes soggy. Yeah, like
Chocolate milk.
Christo.
I'm going to go even a little bit lower. I'm going to give it an E because it just gets so soggy. The only reason I wouldn't give it as an F is because I do like chocolate milk, and it literally just
the
becomes
ending's good.
chocolate
Yeah.
milk.
Wow.
So,
That's
but
why
it is
One,
chocolate
2,
milk
3.
oatmeal.
that's the only thing that saves.
Solid D, dude.
Solid
Literally a solid D.
Solid D.
Sorry, Curtis.
All right, which one's next, Curtis?
All right, I'll do this one because you burned the roof of your mouth
Oh my
off.
gosh.
Oh, Ricky, I'm with you. I think I have the same
Dude.
response you do. Captain Crunch.
This
The
is-
audience needs to know. Captain Crunch.
All right, Captain Crunch, this is my S tier. This is so stinking good.
I'm with you. I'm with
Let's
you.
go, me too,
I
dude.
can't
I'm
say
just going to tell
Captain Crunch.
you, it is my favorite cereal of all.
It's
man.
so
This is the
good.
best
Me
one.
and the captain make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
And
good.
do you like the ones with the berries or no berries?
I like them
I
both.
don't
Berries,
like
I
dude.
like them both, but
Berries.
no berries is
Yeah,
almost
no
better.
berries is better.
better. Yeah, it is
Yes.
the best. To
you
me,
say
the
better?
better.
That's better.
So you guys all S's right there?
I'm an S.
How about you, Elliot?
I'm just
Elliot, you can
mimicking
go
us.
low if you hate it, dude.
Wait, what's that? Super?
S is like God tier.
God too.
Like Super Saiyan.
Or A is like the top otherwise.
Oh, I'm gonna get bad comments on this. I'll give it a B.
B, okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Say it with your chest.
Curtis might get redemption on us here. What do you
Curtis.
rate it?
Oh,
as?
me? Oh, I think it's an A tier cereal, dude. Especially all berries is one of my favorites. So.
Oops, all berries is what it's called.
Oops, I'll
Oops, all berries. Now that's a good cereal.
That's in between S and A then? I give it an S. It is my
Oh.
favorite cereal.
Oh, then
of all
it's
time.
literally like it's like up there as A, I guess.
I also picked a special one that I
1.6.
think Chris
Like
would
in
like.
between S and A.
Yeah.
I picked a special one I think Chris would like on here.
Should I go for that
Yeah, you
one?
can pull it up.
horseradish cereal.
I made that blue cheese O's.
Oh my god.
Blue Cheesios.
Blue cheese. O's.
So for the audio listeners, I made a cereal on Photoshop called Blue Cheese
And
O's.
it's made by Kellogg's too.
I didn't throw on a brand
Wow.
on there.
Dang.
That's funny, dude.
I want to try that. Man. That is probably so good.
So disgusting. You can delete that curse from that's not getting ranked. So dumb.
What do we got next?
Pick it, bro. You pick, bro. You're in charge.
Oh, I'm in charge. All
Yep.
right, here we go. Can't have all good ones.
Honey Nut Cheerios, B.
Oh,
I don't hate them. I actually somewhat enjoy them because they're a little sweet, but I don't feel like I'm killing myself sweet. You know what I mean? I feel like their commercials make me think I'm eating healthy, even though I know cereal's
Yeah.
not healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
anyone else?
I'll go C for it. I love it as a snack. I literally like it just dry. I'll just
Oh, it's a
eat
good
it like that.
it's a good kid snack.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is delicious just
Yeah,
by
but
itself.
what are you, children? Like, I don't know. You
I hope.
guys want to eat Fruity Pebbles with no milk? Like, you guys kidding me right now?
Easy there,
You got
Cocoa
the
Pebbles.
cereal bars. Cereal bars are good too.
Yeah, Curtis is calling us young when he's like, Cocoa Pebbles turns into chocolate milk.
I'm gonna actually give it an A.
Okay.
Because as much as there's a lot of other ones better that are more sugary on here, when I was growing up, my mom is like a health freak, so we weren't allowed to eat all the sugary cereals, and so this was the only one that she would get for us that had a little bit of sugar on
Got
it.
it.
So me and my brother were so happy to just have Honey Nut Cheerios, and for that, like. Other than that, it was like For Life. Do you remember that one? I think it's
I remember life.
Yeah, I
Like
that
for
one.
life.
For
Yeah,
Life or
yeah.
something.
The heck
Like
is
that's-
For Life?
It was like it's just a healthy
They give it
cereal.
on-
You
They
like
give it on elementary.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it an A. I actually enjoyed it. As a
Little
kid.
did she know it's probably one of the worst
Elliot,
ones for you.
what was yours?
Is it really?
Give it a B.
Give it a B.
Give it a B.
All right, guys, I'm gonna bring it down to an E because this thing is garbage.
Okay, E from Curtis.
If I wanted to be in a retiree home, I guess I'd eat this. 4.6. I'm bringing this bad boy down right.
I mean,
to
now if it was
Pebbles.
original Oreos, Cheerios, I'd be going pretty low.
Literally on average.
I don't think it went down as far as Cocoa Pebbles.
It did.
No,
I gave it an A.
I gave it a C. He gave it an A.
What are you doing?
Okay,
Curtis?
literally, let me do the math. It literally turned out to 4.6. The other one was about the same.
Okay.
But I think this one was actually worse. I think it was like there.
Oh, there you go. Get
We'll
waxed.
see. I'll wax myself on that one. This one's Cookie Crisp.
Crisp. Hey, delicious junk. Garbage for your body, but so good.
Yeah, I'm 100% on that board with that A right there.
Never had it.
Never had it. Okay.
I think I've only had it once. What do you give it? Never. Oh, you
never had
it.
Never had it.
I'm gonna. I've had. It's okay. I'll give it a D. I don't really like it.
What does it taste
D for
like?
me.
Chips Ahoy or something?
It's
or?
just cookies. Yeah,
It's like
cookies.
just cookies.
Yeah, it's
milk.
just dry. That's all it is.
Cookies and milk.
Try.
I'll give it a C. I liked it. It's just I'd rather have a cookie, dunk a cookie in milk.
That sounds bomb right now.
Doesn't
All
it, though?
day.
So it's just right at like a B, C average right there.
That sounds so
Something like
good.
that,
All right, I'll get you guys started on the next one.
Does sound good.
Frosted Flakes.
Ooh,
They're
Elliot.
more than good.
Frosted Flakes.
Give it A.
Hey. Okay.
Hey.
It's the commercials that get me.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh, yeah, one of the best commercials.
Tony
for
El
sure.
Tigre.
All I can think of is soccer with Tony.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'll give it an A as well. Frosted Flakes are pretty darn good. And see how they have strawberries in there? If you put a little bit of fruit like bananas or strawberries in
No,
Frosted
that's
Flakes,
cheating.
no
That's
way. That
cheating.
is so good in Frosted
For the
Flakes.
list, it only counts with what it comes with.
But even by itself, I give it an A.
Okay.
I like Frosted
Ricky?
Flakes a lot.
I'll give it a A. I'll give it an A too because when I used to just get the flakes, my parents would just give me the flakes, but I'd get sugar and just throw it on top. I'm like, all right, it's still Frosted Flakes to me.
D. D, I hate him.
Dang.
I hate him.
I'll tell you this.
And I don't like Tony the Tiger either. He's sus, dude. Guys, I don't trust someone that enthusiastic, like myself. Something's off with him.
This is the one cereal I have to do like very minimal milk because this one will get soggy too.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah,
cornflakes.
you gotta eat it quick.
Quick.
It is super sugary.
So sugary.
Man,
That hurts my teeth sometimes.
You guys need to try my cereal method. Every cereal is better that way.
What is that?
Just
the way you
pouring the
did-
milk
yeah.
and then just a little bit of
It's
cereal.
more,
Try
it's more
that.
work. I'd
It's
rather
good.
just throw the milk right back
No,
in
it's
the
better.
fridge.
It's better. I'm
I
telling
usually
you.
eat it so fast though; it barely has
Same.
time to get soggy.
Yeah.
Shut up, all of you. What's next? Ooh, Lucky Charms.
This is S tier.
Lucky Charms.
S
Okay,
tier.
Curtis is going S. Lucky Charms. Now, did you pick out all the marshmallows as a kid?
Huh?
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, mine barely had any of the marshmallows left.
Did you buy the bootleg like Mexican off-street one? I did. I did too. Yeah, the bags. Yeah, the big bags. I did too. Whatever the food bank gave us at the church is what we accepted.
They weren't magically delicious, but they were still delicious.
No. Ricky, what's yours?
Oh, I actually like it a lot, but it's going to go down to a B because once I ran out of marshmallows, it was not as good.
I'm a B also.
Yeah.
Good, but
Sorry,
not my
Curtis.
favorite.
I don't know what it is about the marshmallows, but
Dude,
it's not.
If it was,
Not for you?
It's not the greatest. I don't know.
they don't put enough
I might be tripping,
marshmallows.
What are you at? What ranking?
but D.
Dang,
Curtis.
D.
Christian?
Yeah.
I'm with
No,
Curtis
not
on
the
this one. This is an S for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love the marshmallows. And back to me and my brother, we used to sneak cereal. We used to put it underneath the cart. So when my mom checked out at the grocery store, we were always sneaking Lucky Charms. That was our choice. We
That's
wanted that one.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. Little backstory with it makes it a little
Yeah.
better.
It's an S for me. I love it.
Raisin Bran. I can
this
see
is-
Chris putting that as S. Nothing better than after a long night of blue cheese in my mouth. Put Raisin Bran. I can see it, bro. I can see it.
I think it is advertised as more for like elderly people
Yeah.
too, isn't it? Right?
Is it really?
I think to get like your
What does Bran do? Is it make you poop?
like brand, yeah, like I think
This is
so.
heart healthy. You know.
You know, I think it's a solid F. I truly think people who like raisins are psychopaths.
Yeah, and I do not like raisins really either.
Yeah.
This is an F for me too. I don't like it.
Raisins, like they
I'll
are
give it an F,
literally
too.
Yeah, they're grapes left in the sun.
Yeah.
They were made by accident, and they literally look like ball sacks.
They make you poop too.
Raisins
Like
too.
raisins and prunes and all of that stuff. They make you poop. So this is like a pooping cereal.
It's horrid.
This just reminds me of like when you go to a hotel. This is what they had.
This is what's This is what's
like,
left
oh,
over.
God.
What's everyone drinking?
For me, is an E.
Yeah.
No, it would have been a unanimous F. Dang it. I was not voting on this. So,
Curtis, I couldn't hear it all the way.
Oh, man. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks is a B. That's a good flavor to
It's
me.
a really good.
Yeah.
It's a good cereal.
It's a good flavor. I saw a solid B. What's up with them putting like a... Oh, I accidentally put the wrong thing. I put the cereal bars as the cover. Whoops. My bad. Apple Jacks.
Sorry, you'll get a comment on that one.
What'd you go, B?
Yeah, B.
Ricky?
I'd go for a B too. It's really good.
Yeah.
I love Apple Jacks. They were one of my favorite. I'm going to give it an A.
Okay.
It was really good. I haven't had it in forever.
Elto?
B. Yeah. Give it a B.
A
How
solid-
many B's did I get? I got 2 B's and what?
2 B's and an S.
It's probably like Lucky
B plus.
Charms.
You get an A? B?
B.
Oh, 3 B's in it.
That's a good cereal, though.
Yeah,
That is a
good.
good cereal.
It's a good cereal.
It's consistent.
No, it's A,
It's
B.
an A.
You gotta
Don't
go
try to
down.
put that above Captain Crunch, bro.
No, it's lower than
Even
that.
the bar looks
No, it's lower. It's lower.
I think it's closer to
What's
Lucky
wrong with you,
Charms.
dude?
Bro.
Quit screwing up, dude.
You need to get your calculator over there.
I had it, but you guys are saying it so fast. I was trying to put
On to
Raisin
the next
Bran
one.
in the garbage, man.
What's next,
Big.
Kurto? Cocoa Puffs.
See, this is better than Cocoa Pebbles.
S tier. It's S tier either way. It turns
Cocoa
into
Puffs?
chocolate milk at the
Cocoa Puffs
end.
way better than
Cocoa
than
Puffs.
Better.
Fruity
Chocolate
Pebbles.
milk, Curtis.
No, no, you get because you get the chocolate eating aspect, and then you got to finish it off with chocolate milk.
I am with you. Cocoa Puffs is the absolute S. Might be the best one of all of them to me. Might be better than Captain Crunch in my brain, but they're both S's. Ricky?
It's not as good as Captain Crunch to me, but it is better than Cocoa Pebbles. So I'm going to give it a B.
Okay.
Because I do love that it's crunchy.
So crunchy.
I'll give it an A.
Yes. And I love the marketing. Like, clearly that bird is on crack. Like, when they do it, his eyes are twisted. He's looking everywhere. He's like, I'm Cocoa Puffs. And he's like running at little kids and shaking.
I thought you said you didn't like the mascots like that, like Tony.
No, Tony is too enthusiastic that I feel like he for sure has dead bodies in his basement. Cocoa Puffs just wants a little hit. That's straight up. We should be ranking the mascots next time. That's what we should be doing.
That'd be dope.
That'd be a fun one.
I have to bring this down low.
Wow.
Because I can't let it beat out Captain Crunch.
That is cheating.
It is better than Cocoa Pebbles
Yes.
by far.
Oh, 100%.
Because it doesn't just turn into a mushy, soggy mess.
Slop, pig slop.
But I'm gonna go D on it. It's not one of my
D?
favorites. Yeah.
What?
D.
That is-
Bring it way down.
Dang, that brought it down like a B.
2 point. Yeah, it's literally a B.
Let's go.
If that lands below Frosted Flakes, this is blasphemy.
I think it did.
Frosted
But.
Flakes is garbo.
Well,
My
those
ma-
3 S's at Frosted Flakes.
All right, we're gonna move on to Honey Smacks.
Yo,
I never had these.
I actually
Yeah,
love
never
Honey
had those.
Smacks.
I pictured Ricky liking them.
I
What did-
love this.
I
They,
feel
had,
like-
they had this in the bear one. What's the bear one called?
Golden
Grams.
Grams,
Golden
Golden
Grams.
Smack,
Golden
Golden
Grams.
Grams.
I used to love this stuff.
Looks like Battletoads.
I used to get the bootleg version.
What did you have as a kid? Like, what was your choice? Is it,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
We're getting there.
We haven't gotten
dude?
there
Don't
yet.
you ever?
All right, we're on Honey
The
Smacks.
taste you
Ricky,
can
what's your
see.
rating?
Dude, just because this is what I ate a lot of this as a kid, I'm gonna put this as an S tier. I know you guys won't,
Dang,
but I love
S
it.
tier. Wow.
I love it.
This sounds bad, but I actually picture like Mexican families having these.
This
I
is
don't.
literally what I had. The bootleg version of this I had Smackos.
Chocolate Smacks. I would rate this as a B. I like it. I like the flavor, but the consistency. I never am a big fan of like the puffs, but I do like the flavor of it. So it's a solid B. Elliot, never had it. You said?
Nah, never. I actually never even seen that in the markets.
Really?
They're only at it's either Target that has it or Stater Bros. And no one else carries
Yeah,
it
because
now.
I go to Target, and at the time my mom goes to Vallarta, so
What'd you say?
Vallarta.
What the heck is Vallarta?
You got dude. I wish we had one
Is it a
closer out
market?
here.
A market?
Yeah, Barchata.
I've never even heard of it.
Really?
The
They're-
Mercado Market by our house.
They're out by Gabo, like in that area. Like,
Oh, nice.
It's really good. They got like cooked meats and like rice.
They got
Dude, it's
good
one of my favorite places to go when I was out in Lancaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Favorite.
Curtis just flexed it by naming everything that every grocery store has. Dude, they have
No,
rice
no,
and meat.
no, they don't. No, they actually have they actually cook it there for you. You can like get a whole these whole meal plans.
Yeah,
Oh,
you never
that's
been
sick.
to that market?
No, I need to go. I love myself some Mexican food.
Yeah, that's great in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Christo, did you rank it?
B for me. For the same reason as you, the consistency was always weird on this one.
Puffs are always a little interesting.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. But
Did Elliot rank this one?
He did.
What was it?
None.
Well, I
Pass.
never tried it.
You never tried it.
Okay, so it's like right there.
Yeah, you can put it below Jack's.
What's
I
next?
guess
I
F.
think it stays there. All right, what's next? What's next? We are running into a problem.
Tricks.
Tricks.
Our 4 kids.
Dang.
He's
Dude.
also a little on crack too.
Dude, I'll be 100% honest. This thing is like the worst tasting one out of all.
Really?
It literally tastes like plastic.
It tastes like fructose.
chemically,
Fructose.
it's a lot of chemicals in this one.
yeah.
It's a lot of flavors in one shot.
It's too much.
What's your
Yeah.
ranking?
I think I'd choose Raisin Bran over this, to be honest.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
calm down,
I'm
Chris.
pretty low on this one. Like a D. It was just way too many flavors.
Let's bring Raisin Bran back into this. I feel like Raisin Bran too is like what they would feed people in like internment camps, like back in the day. Like to keep people barely alive. Like you will eat Raisin Bran. Like, no, I'd rather die.
Remember that scene from Ted? When what's the name?
The bear?
Yeah, the bear.
Mark Wahlberg.
No, what's the name? Neon Nielsen.
Liam
from-
Liam Neeson.
Liam
The guy from
Neeson.
Taken.
Liam Neeson.
Remember, he goes to the market and he tells Ted if he can buy this because technically it's sold to kids and he's obviously an adult. And he's saying, "Well, if I buy this, will I get in trouble?"
I
Ever
don't
seen
even
that?
remember that.
You don't remember
It's
that
been
scene?
a while.
I don't remember it.
Oh, watch that scene. It's
Sorry,
pretty fun.
Elliot.
It's pretty funny.
Elliot was just pouring his heart out where I looked at him with blank stare. Last time
That
you're
scene's
on.
funny, dude.
Tricks. I still love Tricks, dude.
Do you?
I love. I know they are pure fructose, plastic. They're A for me because I ate them all the time as a kid. I still love them.
It
Dang.
had such a weird taste.
Don't not
I
move
don't
it.
know.
No, I'm doing the math here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's how you pretend to move it.
that's what he said. Yeah, it's just too much plastic flavor.
Chemicals.
Yeah, D. Yeah.
What was Rick Chris's?
I was a D.
Rick Chris's.
Ricky?
I'm gonna bring it up to a C because it's all right.
Yeah.
It's passable.
It's good enough to eat. Every time I eat
If
it,
I
I'm
see
like,
it, I'm hungry.
I
I'm
would
like, I'm
eat
gonna
it for sure.
It's like right here.
Tricks are for kids. What a bold marketing strategy because you're telling your audience don't buy it if you're an adult. You know, it's like alienating one audience. But
Yes.
Dang.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Start with
Ben's
Elliot.
nodding his head.
Yeah, S tier all the way.
That's
Yeah.
Ben's S.
S tier, and just like how you said about your chocolate milk,
That's right.
that tastes like
Cinnamon.
horchata in the end.
Oh, it is
Such a Mexican.
It is.
horchata.
Yeah.
And I love
It
horchata.
is horchata.
The least Mexican person.
Yes.
It
S
is.
tier for sure.
Yeah, I'm with that. S tier for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna say A. I still don't like it as much as Captain Crunch. That's why I can't put it in.
But it's horchata.
I know it's so good. Those are the 2 cereals I have in my house right now: Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm gonna die from like diabetes.
My poor kids. My wife doesn't buy our kids. None of these are ever at our
I
house.
even like the other version, the cinnamon French toast. Remember the little?
Oh, those
the
are
little
really
Frenchie?
good.
Remember?
Those I actually think those are better.
That's white people though. That's like white people cereal.
That's like a seasonal thing.
Yeah, it's just so
It's
good.
never like always in stock.
Yeah.
Or like the Halloween
Elliot,
flavor.
do you get like pumpkin spice things from like Starbucks too?
Every basic white girl ever. For Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's a B for me.
Dang.
No way, dude.
I
Yeah.
thought this was going to be
Yeah.
S's around the board.
It's good.
man.
Don't get me wrong.
It is really good.
Chris, you're an
Dang.
S. Ah.
I'm an S. It's
Yeah.
a tough choice between Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They are my 2 favorites. By
You guys
the
almost had the
horchata.
horchata, but without the ice.
Can we get a revote?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's got to be even to Captain Crunch, no?
No.
I mean, it's up there. It's
S tier.
Ben is not.
hey, S tier.
Ben counts for this.
4 S's,
Nah.
dude.
No.
4 S's?
Oh
No.
man,
Were you an S?
dude.
Yes, of course.
Oh, we were
S.
4 S's,
Who?
dude. That's way up to S,
not-
S,
you cannot.
S,
He
S.
can't jump in on one of them.
Captain Crunch is the winner right now. Rice Krispies. This is another one they probably fed freaking prisoners during the wartime.
Sugar all the way on this.
Freaking
Snack, crackle, pop.
psychopaths. I bet you this is what they did, like Chinese torture to keep them sane. They would listen to the people, the little snap, crackle, pop, and
Yeah,
pretend it's
yeah.
people talking to them. F. Pure, disgusting garbage. No flavor. Sucking on freaking dried out poop turds from rabbits. That's what it tastes like. Hot garb.
What gets me is like talking to the prisoners, snack raffle. They're just listening to it themselves.
I don't know, dude. I don't think before I speak.
Man.
Curtis, where are you at with
I'm
Rice
at a
Krispies?
C with these. I mean, it's kind of garb for me.
And if you have to add sugar, that doesn't really count because
I
that's.
think that does count.
No.
'Cause with
No.
sugar,
No, but I'm saying.
Ben said it, and with sugar, it is
I said
so
it 'cause that's
good.
the only way you can eat those things.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying.
Or as a Rice Krispies treat, but that's it.
Imagine
That
if we
is
were
it.
ranking sodas and we're like, oh, that's good if you mix it with another soda. It doesn't really. You have to say in its form of what they give you. I'm sure you could spice this up to make this amazing.
Because you really can.
With anything, though. You can do it with anything. You can
Well, I
do it with blue
wouldn't add
cheesos.
sugar to. You could add blue cheese. That
pizza
might be
on it.
delicious. But something about sugar with these. I mean, that's funny that you had it because as a kid, my grandmother always had this. So I have.
There's your answer.
I know it is. But like we, if you put a solid scoop of sugar on this and add some fruit, I know you're adding stuff to it.
See?
It is honestly a really, really good cereal.
You know what the bad thing about the cereal is? Even if when you throw the sugar onto it, it just falls off it because it's so small.
It dissipates.
Yes.
I don't know. It was so good. Some reason the sugar. Ben, you're with me on this. You
I
know.
don't know, man.
Calling out to the crowd.
The only way I can eat gobs of sugar.
It was so much sugar.
Just eating a sugar cereal.
Dude, as a little kid, we would just pour so much sugar on this, and it was good. But without the sugar trash, you are right. I know that. So, all right, no sugar added, it's a D.
Okay.
With sugar, it's an A for me. It's
Oh, wow.
amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's really good.
So modified, it goes up to.
Modified,
Okay.
it's an A.
Nice.
Elliot, did you rank it?
Right in the middle, C.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this sucker down F. I was always so mad when my parents would bring this home. Like, why would you even bring this to me?
Dude, I'd rather not eat. Literally,
I
why?
remember eating this a
All
lot
right.
in
I didn't see that to them,
elementary,
though,
so I guess I got used to it, you know?
Nostalgia.
I guess all the ones in between didn't matter. The one at the top that we had was Rice Krispie treats.
No,
And
that's the bottom.
no, it's the bottom. Sorry, stroked out, guys.
Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran was at the bottom, and at the top is your guys' favorite.
Captain Crunch.
I like
with
it.
a close second to Cinnamon Toast
I
Crunch.
like
That is very
and
close.
for God reasons, somehow Frosted Flanks mistakenly is up there in the top. That is
So
pure
good.
garbage.
You
What
guys,
happened to the blue cheese?
Blue cheese is S all
Blue
the way.
Cheezos. When I made that, I sent that to Curtis. I was like, dude, I can't wait to show Chris this.
he's like, don't.
I thought you
He's
were
like,
joking.
no, he was like, don't tell Chris, don't tell Chris. I was like, all right, no worries.
Just the
Blue
fact that you guys
cheese
added
O's.
the O's in the end.
You know.
Blue cheese O's.
I had to. We love our serious.
Look at guys.
From cereal to serious.
Good one. All right. Is there a snake among the retro community? And to clarify, it's not like saying there's a snake, but is there someone out there trying to attack stores personally to gain something?
There's been some comments because there has been a lot of theft in stores. Elliot, obviously, we're here, so we'd love to talk about it with you. You've had break-ins. There was like, buzz even between us, like joking, obviously not making light of a very serious situation. But like, is there someone like who's like a snake in this community who's like
knows
on the inside that like keeps going to these stores and like making chums with people and finding out whatever, maybe times to go break in or this or that. It was kind of a lighthearted conversation between us, but it was also like, could there possibly be, which we can get to that. But first I'd like to hear, have you had more than one break-in?
One big break-in and one failed attempt.
Okay.
So
I'd love to hear big break-in first.
big break-in happened at our LA store, Echo Park location, right in front of the Dodger Stadium. So right down Sunset Boulevard and Ben Scully. They're basically where the main
Yeah,
entrance
Ben Scully, yeah.
Yeah, man, they broke through a 3-door system that I had. Roll-up door,
Oh,
the
Metal.
side skirts, which is the metal one, and then my main door.
yo,
Wow.
And, chain, padlocks, thick padlocks.
yeah.
Yeah, man, they had all that time to break in, At the same time, I'm pretty sure they've been to the store, looking around, cameras, alarm system, and anything else. But I'm pretty sure it was not their first rodeo because they did a great job breaking in because I was not aware.
That's
And-
insane that they got
Yeah.
through all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're on a
That's a
busy
lot.
street there,
Yeah,
too.
and also too, there's like the lights there in the night where they go inside the stucco.
Yeah.
They spray painted that. Very
Oh,
So it was
smart.
very, very planned out.
Yeah.
And like, how did they get through, like, cut through all the metal to get in? How did they do it?
So like, I do a lot of construction, right? And so I'm always looking at tools and stuff. There's these latches that go on top of the roll-up gate, right? Where you kind of need, I guess if you're not trying to make noise, you probably need like a laser cutter to do it. I don't know what they used, but when you look at the latches, it was split in half, like butter.
yeah.
So when I look at it, I was like, how is this possible? Because you would need like a grinder, right? And the grinder would make a lot of noise. Or something else. But when you look at the latches, they were just split in half.
Dang.
Like
butter.
a heat cut almost.
Yeah, like a heat gun, or I don't know. I have no idea. Because like when I started doing my own investigation, because I was like, all right, if I wanted to rob this place, how would I get in? You know, first I'll be paranoid, right? And I'll be making noise, but there was no witnesses. There was a bunch of apartments there. No one heard anything.
Wow.
So I was just like, okay, so what machinery did they use to not make noise?
Freaking
Because you would
Ocean's
need
11.
to make noise in order to break in.
Was
Could it
there,
have been a...
'cause you're,
Oh, go ahead, Rick.
because you're close to the Dodger Stadium, right? Like pretty close to
Literally,
it.
like go walk up the hill. Yeah, it's right
was there a game that night or something like that?
No,
Maybe the
no.
crowd walked by or something.
No, nothing.
Could they have used like a torch?
I have no idea, man.
How much money did you lose?
Can't say, but
Okay.
it was a lot.
Okay.
It was a lot for me to close the store that same day.
You never reopened.
Never reopened for multiple reasons. Besides all the theft that they took, a lot of property damage. You know, for the doors.
Yeah.
And practically all my cabinets, man, all glasses everywhere.
They just smashed and
Yeah, and then
done.
besides the inventory, they took my my expensive speakers that I had there, my register, my laptop, Pokemon cards.
So they were making trips in and out.
Yeah,
huh?
man.
Wow.
And I don't know how long they were in there because remember they cut off everything. So I have evidence of them stealing, but I don't know what they took because it was so much emptiness inside the store.
You know what's weird is we have such a big community around here that like someone you would think someone would have like, hey, I just bought this giant lot, like someone would have brought at least something up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But that day I was just like, you know what? I don't trust this area. It is Echo Park. There is a lot of activity
Echo
going
Park
on.
Is pretty
So
synonymous.
maybe I should have thought about it better, open up a store there. But I was like, hey, you know what? Let's try it here in LA because it was a random opportunity that came up accidentally, actually. And I guess it backfired on me.
How did it work out with insurance? Did insurance cover most of that?
For property damages, yeah.
That's it, not inventory?
Not inventory because mainly for the Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are not traceable. They have no barcodes. They don't.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
If I tell insurance, they sold $1,000 Charizard. All right, where's your invoices? Where's your receipt from 1999 or something?
Yeah, and cash
Yeah.
trades
Yeah.
and all that. Other
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with the stores because I've had a break-in where somebody actually broke through the front door, and I did actually get a reimbursement on some of the inventory. I had to kind of just come up with a number,
Yeah.
but it was very, very difficult because you don't have everything written down necessarily what was taken.
I think because I made some report, but then after that I never really followed up with it because I was just like, let me give you a time frame. So remember going back to Santa Clarita, I closed that down December 2021, right? So that was already bad for me. I was already heartbroken,
Yikes.
And the break-in happened June 2022. So 6 months later. So you can understand my
Heart.
yeah. So at
I
that
talked
point,
to you that day. I remember.
I was just like, damn, we went from bad to worse in 6 months.
There's never been like a lead on who or how or.
No, because I think at that point I would just probably didn't care anymore. I just wanted to move on and just go to my house and just chill my game.
I hate that feeling though, man. I
Yeah.
hate justice not being served.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we couldn't do anything about it, man. And
Wow.
I just kind of let it go because it just hurts. Like, I guess I had a bad year and it hurts so much, so, but we did get some I never asked for this. I swear I never did. I just wanted to be left alone. But we did get some donations from the community. I swear I did not want it. I didn't ask no one's help.
We know your heart. You don't have to justify yourself here.
Yeah, that kind of put it, a little tear in my eye,
Yeah.
just like, damn, we actually do care.
Yeah.
So
people care. I mean, you guys are a staple down here.
yeah.
You guys are a staple store.
That hurt, man. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. So
Do you think there was ever any correlation between that one and what happened? I know it's years later, but when it happened, the other break-in that you had, well, it was the same night as the Retro Respawn one, right? So
Yeah.
that's clearly those two are connected.
There was two in one night, correct?
Actually, the night before, I think that same dude was at a store in Whittier. Because some store owner, he has a collectible store in Whittier.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, bro, that guy is literally wearing the same outfit as, Retro Respawn and my failed attempt. Because when I was looking at the video, it was like cargo pants, black shirt. And when you look at the guy from Whittier, he took screenshots and exact same outfit. It's weird. Why would you wear this?
Explain it for the audience who doesn't know, because a lot of people might not know who Retro Respawn is. What happened? We were saying with the story in two instances in one day.
Yeah, so I want to say the time frame was probably like 1:40 in the morning. This dude tried to break into my front door. My alarm system went on. He got scared, so he drove off. Right, he's gone. And I would say a few hours later, he went to Retro Respawn, probably after 3 a.m., and he broke into the side and broke the drywall. And so he basically hopped over, and he was in there for a while. And yeah, man, he stole a bunch of stuff. And Dylan used to work for me at GameTower, funny enough. And he was supposed to open GameTower 4 at the time, but obviously COVID. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what COVID was going to be,
Yeah.
He even though he went his way, we were still like partners. Like we didn't see,
no beef or nothing.
No beef, no competition, right? So, and plus he always helped me out with inventory.
Yeah, he's been great. I bought a lot of actually high end stuff.
We do a lot of like trading and stuff like that. So, and we always support each other. But man, when he got broken into, I know that feeling, man. And it just reminded me of LA. And I remember calling him that morning. I actually went to the store that morning. Yeah, man, it sucks.
That sucks.
So did you guys ever identify from that picture you mentioned of the other place, like with the cargo pants, who it might have been?
There was other people that said that they knew who they were, but we didn't want to disclose that yet, because if you don't have concrete evidence, like saying not pointing you out, Ricky, but if Ricky didn't do it,
but you pointed out
saying Ricky's got cargo shorts on over there.
It's just like the method.
Yeah, you really need to give out a description of the person, because now it's a false accusation, right?
Yeah.
And then they could come after you and sue you, and that just causes a whole.
What is it?
So you guys remember when there's cameras for tickets, right? When they would take photos as you were crossing an intersection.
Yep.
If someone just blurred their face, they could say that wasn't me.
Exactly.
And get out of the ticket. That's kind of the similar aspect of that. It's like you can't identify the face.
Yeah, and then with these new California laws.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Bro, you're literally
asking people to steal.
You're telling people to steal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can go to an Apple store.
Yep.
On a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
With hundreds of people inside the store and just start stealing phones and
legally.
Yeah.
Because you literally cannot be prosecuted.
You cannot touch them.
Yep.
Because then you can sue them after, and then they steal thousands of.
If it's under 1,000, they don't get anything, right?
Yeah.
No
or $900.
And I'll be 100% honest. I wouldn't care if they got shot right when they walked out the store.
Well, I am one of those people that I definitely love instant karma justice.
Oh,
it's a very satisfying thing to watch when you. But I have noticed an uptick of regular people like us being pissed.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years ago there was a million videos of people just, hey, look at these people stealing at Walmart.
Yeah.
And now there's a decent uptick, or maybe it's just part of my algorithm now where I see some guy who's just sick of it, and he goes and grabs him by the neck and throws him to the ground and takes their cart and kicks him on the ground. I'm like,
no, trust me, you think of the most evil things you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, you don't know who it is, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You know,
True.
and cops could come over, you make your report. You think the cops care?
Yeah.
No, they don't spend much time on
You
these
really
at
think
all.
if it's not a murder, man?
No.
They don't care that.
Well,
they,
especially, I mean, not to be, but depending what area you're in, they got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be a different story if you're in Newport Beach and they're like, okay, I guess we're, it's kind
got
of
this
what we're.
Probably
about
dealt
it.
with 5 break-ins that week.
When you're in LA, in certain parts of LA, it's like, well, probably going to be a murder any hour now, so I might have to deal with
Yeah.
that. I get it, but
yeah.
I was talking to Dylan at the expo, and like, he seemed really optimistic. Like now that time has passed, but he actually said the thing that came good from it was because they broke into that side property, like through the wall. He was able to actually take over that property, like he wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
So you can
he's in
expand
the
his
process
store.
right now.
so it was Dylan. No, I'm just kidding.
Dylan himself.
No.
He was the insurance money.
Do you feel like it ever could be someone who's in the scene? Do you think that's or in the realm of possibility?
Possibly, man, because there is a lot of people that hate successful people.
Oh, yes.
Like I see it a lot, man.
Yeah, I bet you do.
So if they see that you're getting thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory coming in,
Doing what you love.
yeah, and they understand the sacrifices that owners have to make to even get to that point, and the first thing they think of is, let me screw this guy over, let me break his stuff and steal his games or whatever.
Yeah, I never understand when people put down certain people's jobs or living or way they make income because we don't know. None of us know. We only know what we know. We know the sacrifice that goes into a convention.
Yeah.
You guys know the sacrifice that go into a game store. Ricky knows the sacrifices of his day job. You know the sacrifices. So I say, like, when anybody's doing their job and they're doing it to the best of their abilities, like, praise them. I don't care if you're a janitor, cleaning toilets, but you're doing it with pride and doing it with your best. Praise to you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I never understand the constant hatred for any. It doesn't even have to be resellers or video game stores or city workers. It could be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's always like, man, if someone's putting their heart and their soul into what they do and they're proud to do it the way they do it, I don't understand the need to hate on people. But
And my guess is it definitely is. I don't know how much you would say in the community they are, but I guarantee it was somebody that had been in your store before, and it's somebody that probably knows the value of things. I don't know if you ever went back and looked at your cameras, but at some point, I guarantee you that guy was in there. And we've caught a few of our thieves. I've had a couple break-ins over the years, and we've caught a couple of them, and they were always by going back like a day or two. One time the guy was wearing like certain sneakers or like the outfit we were able to identify, and we were able to look in our store credit records. And this is in Connecticut. These are actual break-ins where somebody broke in the back door and stole stuff. And I think we've caught 2 of them, and the police arrested them. Yeah. And they were people that had been in there.
Was it you who was with me at Balboa where that store had the pictures of everyone printed out?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
There was this little like cute boutique store, like in a very, very rich, wealthy area, and they like almost like make it comical. They print out like color printed pictures of people, and they write out mean things about them and what they stole and why. Like, look at this lady, must be so poor she can't afford this $4.99 bracelet that I had. Look at this Jagaloon. If you see him, make sure and make fun of him to his face. He stole a T-shirt from a small business, and they just have like all on the wall. And I'm like, wow, they are like. It's almost like putting a funny twist on it to publicly shame them.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like the interesting thing too is a lot of times just look like regular people.
Dude, you wouldn't even think
like
that.
A 13-year-old little blonde girl or something like he. Like,
We have a wall like that in the back of our stores. But
is it all Blake just back there?
The wall of shame.
We got Ricky.
You should put it in for like Retro Plus, but Most Wanted.
I think we do put Most Wanted or something. Yeah, we have them.
That's actually great.
And I leave them like so that I tell the employees, just get this face in your head. If they ever come back, we want to just ask them to leave. But 9 out of 10 times, those thieves just keep coming back. Even after we've told them to leave before. Literally been like, stop coming back. And I've told the story of that guy that was stealing the Pokemon cards that chased him down.
Yeah, came back.
He was back next week.
Trying to get another deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The freebie deal.
You should have gone for the choke slam, bro.
I wasn't there the second time.
Have they ever like when they steal something, they try to trade it in? They ever got like
I have
a situation like that?
Yeah.
We're like, wait a second, when did you buy this?
Yeah, we did that at Retro Ricks with Caleb. Remember that guy who got the $1 deal?
All I know is Caleb stole trash from Retro Rick's garbage and sold it online.
No, that was me.
That was him.
No, that's what I meant. Curtis did. Curtis took trash from Retro Rick's garbage and sold it online. Retro Rick's garbage.
But I labeled it as that. It was a
like,
gimmick. It was 100% a gimmick.
All pieces of paper.
Like pieces of paper and like a paper clip.
Yeah. No, but it was a gimmick. We definitely, it was one of those
But it was
things.
funny. It was so
It was
funny.
funny.
That's funny.
No, I was gonna bring up like an idea, like as values start to increase with like collectibles and all that, like how do you think that we could like track it in the sense of like barcodes or serial numbers with things that like are $5,000, like other than like price charting and all that, like almost a public site for game store owners to be able to track that type of stuff?
I don't know, man, because if you start like investing into like I think of like the spider wraps, right? That they put on like drills when you go to Home Depot, you see that spider wrap, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Should it go that extreme where you have to put crazy stuff like that? Because I don't know what else to protect it.
I'll tell you how I've stopped it is we don't sell super high-end stuff in the store anymore. It all goes online. Like all the Pokemon cards, I won't put Pokemon cards out that are more than $35.
Has that affected your overall income?
No. It's just I would rather sell the super high-end stuff. The more high-end stuff we put out, $1,000 Panzer Dragoons and like $500 Charizards.
Okay, that's smart,
Thieves come in and they just say, "Oop, I want that. Yep, let's break into this place." And so we just keep the threat. I'll still put out like $200-$300 games, but the big expensive stuff we just don't put it out.
Now, if people come to the front desk though and they're like, "Hey, do you happen to have blah blah blah?" and you know it's in the back, will you tell them like, "Oh, let me go pull it out for you"?
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe.
depending on how you feel.
Well, we only do online out of one store, so it's really the other stores that might not have that high-end stuff. But I mean, really just high-end stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think it would be a way to like I said, like a serial number to track that type of stuff?
I mean, you can get those like we used to do it when we do sell like loose discs online, and loose discs. To me this is theft too. Like on Amazon, when we used to sell on Amazon, it happens on eBay too. You sell a loose disc, Super Smash Brothers, and then instant return. And I'm like, we tested that game. I know that game works.
The switcheroo.
And there's a whole scam of just people doing that. In fact, I read recently a whole article on Amazon about people just scamming other things, not just video games, with returns, right?
Yeah.
Sending broken stuff back. So what we were doing was we were putting, what was it? It's like a black light marker.
It's like invisible.
Invisible.
Yeah.
And so we would write on the disc, and then when it got returned, we would either do that, or we have like little security stickers we'll put on the discs.
Nice.
So that when they get returned, we can say that is not the disc that we sold you.
Smart.
Wow.
But to me, that's theft too. That's stealing.
Yeah.
No,
It's the same as somebody coming in your store and taking the item from you. In my
I was
opinion.
only saying because, like, I mean, you guys get all the sealed stuff. It's almost like, why not just put a serial code to that sealed thing, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why? Like, once it gets hit the market or somebody's trying to trade it, and that thing, and somebody gets word of it, like, and it's on a public site, and you guys know about it, that's just easier to find who steals it.
I mean, the only thing you could do is those security stickers. But you can take those off. You know which ones I'm talking about. They're like peelable ones that leaves like the layer.
There's so many chemicals out there that you can just
get that off.
Peel it off too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they test it right off the bat, like that should still be on there.
Well, the black light, most people would never know it's on there, so they wouldn't even
Nice.
look to
Pretty smart.
take
That
that
is
off. But
smart.
you'd have to mark every single game. It's like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Get to it.
I'm all about saving time.
I know it's time. It's more down to time.
Yeah, it's.
But I think video game stores have become a target so much, right? Because we have the price of these things have gone up and they're not traceable, right?
Yeah.
You go steal an iPhone, good luck trying to sell it. But you steal Panzer Dragoon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there it
That's
goes. Goes out on the open market.
Yeah. Besides video game stores, I think the TCG stores get hit even harder, man.
The card ones, trading cards.
Yeah.
Have they been getting hit? I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, like I seen it in different states too, man. It's really bad. Because like I said, it's not traceable.
Not traceable.
So those single cards, with the top loaders and all that.
Yeah.
The slaps too. You could just crack it open,
It literally makes my skin like just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you are literally like let's just say you had a cabinet that was worth, I don't know, $10K. Well, you literally have $10K in your pocket now.
Yeah.
You know
Because it's
what I'm
easy to
saying?
carry.
It's that easy.
Yeah, and the only thing that prevents that stuff, like I said, is like, obviously when you get a card graded, it becomes on the market with PSA, and then you can track it. That's the only way.
Yeah, but then again,
Just
crack it
break it.
open,
Crack it open,
not traceable no more.
and that's a resubmit, right?
What if you found out who the guys were, or guy was, and you walked into an elevator with them? What would you say or do? Honestly.
He just turns to Curtis.
I mean, I'll have to pull the guns out, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my intent is not to
Yeah.
kill
Yeah.
you, but
Yeah.
torture you a bit.
Yeah.
Shoot you in the leg.
So you'd let loose.
Shoot you in the kneecap for you don't have to walk no more.
Yeah. A good
know?
kneecap. Yeah.
I'd rather you suffer for the rest of your life than
Yeah.
just die quickly.
yeah, feed him
you
blue
know?
cheese.
The ultimate.
cheese
That
always.
Rice Krispies
That might be too
and
much.
Raisin Bran.
We're gonna move on to the next topic, and it's gonna be a fun one. Let's do agree or disagree.
Where's
We're
the
doing
thing?
it right now, dude.
What, you guys got your...
Oh,
Where's
Everybody should have
I got-
theirs.
I got one here.
1, 2, 3, go.
Christo, you got one?
Yep.
All right,
All
here
right,
we
our
go.
final topic of the night. Final topic.
All
Agree
right.
or disagree? What, did you write them down, Curtis?
Right here.
Okay. I sent them to you, okay?
Let's be real. I slacked on that portion. I mean, I was trying to work out a different thing for another video. So.
Okay.
Agree.
And I'm back to editing the podcast, by the way.
All right, we're going on to number 1. It'll be Nintendo will call the next console Switch 2. Agree or disagree?
I really hope that disagree is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it.
It sounds so bad to me.
Well, I mean, think of Wii U.
Wii U.
Wii U.
What if they called it the Switch U?
Switch.
Oh, Switch U. That sounds horrible
Yes.
too.
Yes.
I hope they don't do that.
I think we guessed one time. We tried to guess what the name would be. Someone
We
said
did
like
try.
Dolphin or something or
Super Switch.
Super Switch.
Galaxy?
I don't know. The Galaxy. Oh, the Nebula.
Galaxy. The Nebula.
Something from space.
I
The
think
Nintendo
space.
Cosmo or something.
Cosmo.
I buy the Nova.
The
Nintendo
Nova.
Nova.
The
Are they gonna stick? Are they gonna
Nintendo
stick with
Nova.
the same detachable, or are they gonna go all console? Are they gonna stick with lift it up and you have a portable?
I think they'll stick with that.
I think they're just gonna
like
switch
a
it.
hybrid, still be a hybrid
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
has
think,
to.
Yeah, it has
It's
to
been
be,
doing
yeah.
so
I mean, it
good.
doesn't
been doing
have
well.
to, but
Isn't it close to outselling the PS2?
I don't know.
Right.
How's that
I
possible?
think it sold a lot.
In unit
I don't know.
sales, right?
I mean, how's that possible? Because the PlayStation 2 sucks. I get so much hate for it, dude. The other day, I have a emulated PlayStation 1, courtesy to someone in this room, and I was like going through. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna play all the PlayStation heaters. I'm like, I'm just gonna scroll, and then I caught myself 20 seconds later still scrolling. I'm like, dude, when am I gonna get to a good game? Like, this library sucks, dude. I saw like 4 games that I wanted to play. I was like, dang, sorry, PlayStation fans.
Was it Bubble Bobble?
It
Dude, you're giving
truly,
them the
it
thumbs down?
truly dawned on me how much of a non-PlayStation guy I am when I was scrolling
Hey
through.
man, it happens.
Yeah.
I was done after PS2, man.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
yeah, PS3, PS4. Yeah,
Dipped
not,
out.
Not a fan either.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Okay. No hate. No hate.
Yeah.
Just not for me. Curtis.
Oh, you just talking about just going to the next one? All right, let's do it. We're gonna go. Skateboarding isn't a sport.
Skateboarding isn't a sport.
God.
Hard. Chris, you put that agree down.
Disagree.
Hard disagree. You're just doing it to pick me off.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this from Chris, though. Let's hear it, Chris.
All right, we're all
Yeah.
disagrees. Chris's agree. Why is it not a sport? And by the way, it's in the Olympics.
Is it in the Olympics
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, first of all, skateboarding is awesome.
Yes.
We just had it at SoCal. It is amazing. Be
careful what you say,
all the skateboarders. But when I think of sports, I think of, first of all, there's no score, right? There's no score.
I mean, there is. There's
yeah,
scores.
there's score.
Judging.
Yeah, there's judging.
There is judging. So, it goes into the X Games category.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's like the
You just wanted to piss me off.
skiing. Like skiing, you get a score at the end. Like, when you're doing skiing or snowboarding.
When I think of
It's like
sports,
that.
though,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think of more like would I even put skiing in?
You think of men
sport?
playing with balls.
Yeah, I do. Men
Yes.
playing with balls and a score.
Nice.
Right? To me, that is a sport. Golf, football. I mean,
You started off with golf.
That's what you're breaking was golf.
playing with the ball.
I mean, it does take some athleticism to do either or.
Lots of
That's true.
athleticism. It's not to
Yeah.
say there isn't athleticism. But, I don't know. They're just a different category to
Yeah.
me. Skiing, skateboarding,
Snowboarding, surfing.
surfing.
I mean, isn't it categorized
It's like you don't like California, bro.
as an extreme sport? An extreme.
It's an extreme sport, technically.
It's an
because it's above average.
It's an
That's
extreme
true.
game. X
I mean,
Games. Not X sports.
if you look at how many people get hurt in a game of football to where the amount of people get hurt skating, like you're planned on getting wrecked and bloody and in the hospital skating, like weekly. Like that, you like plan on it. Like that's part of it. Like if you don't have a skate, like if you don't come home with blood everywhere, it's like, did you even try?
Chris, did you ever break a bone like on a sport or anything?
Never.
Skateboarding? This dude 2 or 3 times. How many times did you break your bones?
I did the same 10 stair twice and jacked myself up the same way both times.
Yeah, and physically,
I went home in a shopping cart. I literally got pushed home in a shopping cart.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, physically, you have to be in amazing shape. Like the guys that were just at SoCal who are pro skaters. Like,
Well,
they were
dude,
in incredible shape.
I flipping hugged, like I gave him a dapped up Swampy. He was sweaty as all could be after that, dude.
He was swampy.
Yeah,
That's what even Jaws, like, who like is by. I mean, I don't know if he like skateboarding is obviously working out, but I like even I just saw him like wipe his head with this shirt. And, he's just skating. I'm like, dude, that guy's got a solid 6-pack, like, and just from skating, because those people are. I respect. I grew up and did it. I mean, my son started to get into it. Thank you, Lord. I've been so happy watching him. I've been never like pushing him to do it. But I was never like super into him doing like ball sports because I just never cared. I obviously supported him.
Yeah, he has that skater look.
Yeah, he's got the bleach hair now, and he's getting all wild.
Tito Ortiz look right now.
He's getting.
Elliot, did you ever play any sports?
Of course, soccer, man.
I was gonna say soccer.
Soccer's
Why?
awesome.
Why?
Because I played soccer.
Why?
Why?
And let me guess, Chris and Curtis, baseball.
No.
I'm a soccer player.
I played soccer
I'm
too.
A soccer.
Golf.
Golf. I love golf.
I
But
played
didn't play in high
soccer
school.
and baseball, and now I golf now. So.
And basketball. I'm good at
I
basketball.
played a little bit of hockey too.
Ooh, let's go. Hockey, I respect too.
Street hockey.
Ooh, I really respect
yeah.
that. Street stuff, bro. Anything where asphalt is part of the game is like that's
See,
high
like
level.
I can go like no hesitation, go play any other sport. But if I was like debating on dropping in on a skateboard. I was like, I probably can't do that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I asked Ben, who doesn't skate ever in his life, but I was like, Ben, if this whole entire convention started chanting, Ben, would you drop it? And he's like, yep, you'd have to.
Ooh,
I
now
was
we know
like-
what we need to do next year.
I was gonna ask you. I was like, can I go up there?
I would let you.
But I was like, nah, I'm gonna eat it, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna.
Oh, trust
face
me.
first.
I debated it. I was like, man, I could probably do it. And I was like, I walked like 12 miles, no way.
That was a 3.5-foot ramp that we had, which of course they make 5.5-foot ramps. Too.
Yeah.
But
Well, the one tip was 5.5. The extension.
But I mean, I stood at the end, at the top of that 3.5-foot ramp, and I'm not a skateboarder, and I was like, no way am I going down that thing.
Yeah.
No way. Looked like I was on the Empire State Building.
I've been skating every day since that event. It like reinvigorated. I went and bought a ramp and a rail in front of Ricky's house. 2 hours later, I'm sending him clips of me going off the ramp. I'm like, I'm all hooked
you
again.
got some good moves too. I saw that.
Yeah, I was having fun on them. I was really. It felt super good to like. I think I just needed to like. I think I need to understand that it's okay for me to skate and not be as good as I was back in the day. I just recently listened to a podcast with Chad Muska, who's one of the biggest skaters of all time, and he's like, "Yeah, I just have to like be okay with like not being the crazy good guy anymore, And so I need to be content and like, yeah, I'll kickflip off the ramp. Yeah, I'll do a couple, backside flips and that's it. And be okay with that's what I can handle and skate a 3-stair instead of a 10-stair, So it's like, I think now I'm into a place where I'm like, I just need to know that I don't need to push myself.
Did you drop in the ramp?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, but not with everybody. I wanted to I did more than drop in. I skated it for a bit, but it was more like, all right, nobody's around. Let me make sure I don't look dumb. But I dropped in all the basics, and nollie, big spin it. So that felt good.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. I was watching a podcast with Tony Hawk, Lil Wayne, and I forgot who the other host was, but Lil Wayne was describing how I think Rodney Mullen created the kickflip. But nowadays,
Originally, I think so. That's always debated.
It was
but
a magic flip, is whatever they called it.
Rodney Mullen.
But like, could you imagine? They were like talking about the kids nowadays and what the talent bases are like. Why couldn't we just stay to the basics?
Yep.
Because I mean, like at the time, I think Tony Hawk was just doing vert, and he was like, I wouldn't have attempted that.
The people that are pros now are quite literally ridiculous to watch. It's not like back in the day.
No.
You can't crooked grind a handrail and be like, dude, I'm the best.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to
These
nollie,
guys
tray flip, crooked
yeah, they're
grind.
doing back. What is it?
Yes, go ahead, Curtis.
Those backflip, hard flips right off a 10 stair. No. They were doing like a 50-50 off a 10 stair, like no problem. You know what I mean?
They don't even think.
I'm seeing showing up in my Instagram feed like these little they must look like they're like 5 or 6 years old. These kids in like the ramps, and they're doing like 900s and stuff.
I think a 9-year-old just did 3 900s back to back with Tony Hawk watching.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yep. What's the next one, Curtis?
I guess they are. I think it deserves to be a sport. Talking about. All right, going on to the next one. It's going to be anyone can do YouTube.
Anyone can do YouTube. I'm going to say I disagree.
Yeah,
but I'm going to add a word to it.
I'll disagree on it.
I agree.
Ricky.
All right.
Let's hear it, Ricky.
Anyone can do YouTube. That doesn't mean everyone should.
Or I was going to say successfully.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But yeah, I mean, everyone can throw their video out there. It's kind of cool. Like maybe like years from now, I'm like, oh, my video's still there. I got 10 views. I'm so happy. Something like that. But yeah, anyone. That's what I like about YouTube is anyone can do it. That doesn't mean exactly you're not going to be successful.
Totally. And I guess it just defines what you consider success. Like I'll just say this. There's a reason, that not everyone's successful at YouTube, right? There's a reason a ton of people start and then stop.
Yeah.
Because it's not. If you want to just have fun with it, totally have fun with it. Do whatever, upload some random clips. But if you're like, hey, I kind of want to get like popular and I want to, it's a whole different world that you better be willing to work another full-time job because that's what it becomes. If you want to maintain stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tried it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When I met you guys in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I started doing YouTube.
Dang,
But-
I never saw it.
It's horrible. Don't understand. I think it's still active.
I didn't mean it like that. Never popped
Dang.
up in my feed.
Never saw it.
No, my editing skills are horrible.
Oh, well.
Super horrible. But
Same.
yeah, like seeing like you guys, the way how your personality is and you guys are funny, I'm like, oh, okay. That's probably what makes people want to watch, your guys' type of show versus someone that maybe might not have a personality and be like, yeah guys, I went to the swap meet, I found these games.
Some people like that, though. Some people like that.
So, but I don't know. I think you guys do it more entertaining, I guess, So that's why you guys are popular.
Our style has always been just fun.
You also create it as a show. Like you have called it a show and you've
It's a
pretty much
show.
made it your show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you abuse Ricky a lot.
That's the goal.
I mean,
You slapped
Comes
him
with
so
the
many
territory.
times.
I also made one YouTube video one time analyzing the prices of PS2 games. And it's so funny.
How'd you go with PS2? That's why nobody watches it.
I was probably like 8 years ago, and I'm actually just starting. Blake and I have been looking at maybe like uploading some lost media because we find all this weird
yeah,
stuff.
that's dope.
So we've been like, and I was going back and I was like, I think I have a YouTube channel. I went in there and like I found this old video and I was watching with the guys, and I mean it was bad, but we were looking at the prices of like all the games, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna go up. I think it was like Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I was like, this game's gonna go up in price, guys. You should really get this one. And at the time I was like, it's $9 now, went up to 20, and now it's like 80, and I'm like, oh man, sales
I was right.
on.
Yeah.
Should have kept doing it, but yeah. Maybe someday again.
Sounds
It's
like a
It's
Bitcoin
time.
expert over there.
That was scary.
MicroStrategy.
MicroStrategy's greatest Bitcoin channel on earth.
Yo, what if it just Chris just developed that channel itself?
Poor Rick, dude. He was dealing with so much. He actually isn't getting paid right now on YouTube.
what?
Because that whole thing, he's like having problems with it still.
No.
Really?
So yeah, he's like, I can't put out certain videos.
Oh, that they hijacked his.
Yeah, he like still isn't getting paid or something. So I'm like stressing out for him. So poor guy.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go on to our next one. It's going to be Star Wars is dead, and so are its games.
Star Wars is dead.
And so is its games.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like Star Wars, like at least in my algorithm, and I don't really watch Star Wars stuff, but I watch like a lot of like movie reviews and like nerd culture channels.
Yeah.
And I don't even look, but like half the thumbnails are just like bashing Star Wars. And I'm like, this is stupid. This is so dumb.
I hear it from my customers.
Really? Okay, yeah, you have.
So
The
like,
walk-ins.
even the new games, they're like, what is this garbage? Like where's the Battlefronts? Like where's Republic Commando?
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I hear it from the customers. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Interesting.
if they're complaining about it, I can imagine the movies.
Yeah.
You know which one I liked a lot for Star Wars that I was bummed out they stopped making was The Force Unleashed. I was like into that.
That was
I
like,
thought it was a great
that was like
game.
Wii,
That was-
PS3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Looks pretty
PS3,
good.
Xbox
Yeah,
360.
360.
I like
The only
that,
one
yeah.
they've ever nailed for me is always going to be Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racing.
Pod Racing was good. Shadows
Pod
of the
Racing was
Empire.
good.
Yeah.
Pod Racing
like
was
the
probably one of my favorites.
The Super NES ones were good back in the day. I liked them.
They were pretty good.
They were
Yeah.
good.
They were pretty hard though.
They were hard.
Super Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
You mean
those were
before
rough.
they were sold?
Yeah, true. I remember on our old channel, Retro Liberty, we did like a little like rest in peace thing when Lucasfilm like sold or whatever and all this stuff, and we did like a cheesy, probably I'm sure Retro Liberty little graphic of Lucasfilm and their good games, and we were like, it might go uphill from here, didn't it? And then the movies, yeah, too. I've lost.
I mean, the movies, like the old Star Wars, I love, but in Mandalorian was good.
Mandalorian was great.
That was great.
Mandalorian was good.
Mandalorian was great.
Pretty recent, so I wouldn't say it's completely dead, but like there's a new one that's out at the Acolyte.
I see people saying that's the worst thing.
So I watched the first. Is it only 3 episodes? I think 3 episodes out.
Who is that based on?
It's about like it's pre all this other Star Wars stuff, and it's about like this. There's a bunch of Jedis, and there's like an assassin that's going around killing the Jedis. Sounds like a good plot, right? But it is not good at all.
That's what I keep seeing.
Never mind, I don't want you to say it.
And I said to my son, because I was like, oh, there's new Star Wars on. I was like, everything Star Wars is good. And he looks at me and he goes, not all Star Wars is good. I was like, no, you're right. No, it is. It's always good. I just love it. Lightsabers. And then I watched it and I was like, you're right.
It's
not all Star Wars is good.
It's such a deflating feeling too when you like go into something like, I love this thing, right? Like whatever it is, you love that thing, that IP. And then you like slowly, you at some moment you realize during a movie, you're like, shoot, like I'm trying to like this. Yeah. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually forcing myself to get through like the 3rd episode by the end, and I was like, oh, this is bad. I just didn't. It was not good.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. That's such a bummer feeling in like movies or games too. Gosh dang it, I bought
this. Isn't there like a trading card game that's back for Star Wars? Like recently?
I think so. There's also a Disney like Mickey Mouse popular card game right now.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
How much did Disney pay for Star Wars? Over $1 billion, right?
Like 13 or something.
13 billion?
Something like that. Wait, was it 30?
Yeah, but I mean,
how much did Disney
alone
pay for
on
Star
the
Wars?
merchandise sales is probably what covers it. I mean, they market so good.
Yeah.
$4 billion in 2012.
I thought it was more.
I mean, they nailed it with Mandalorian.
Ahsoka wasn't bad.
Mandalorian was all Jon Favreau.
Mandalorian was all, exactly.
It wasn't
a bunch of different other ones.
It wasn't the people that are now doing the main Star Wars. It's like they gave it to Jon Favreau. He did fantastic.
And are they at this point now just spinning off like
yes,
like this Acolyte? Like where did it come? Like somebody just wrote a script? It's not like George Lucas stuff.
It's the same thing that's happening with Marvel, right? You have this popular thing that people like, which is good. So I understand sometimes people being like, "Hey, we need to break out because we can't tell 50,000 stories around Luke, right? Or we can't tell 50,000 stories around Spider-Man. Let's go with the kind of the weird ones that George Lucas talked about in some comic, or the weird ones that whoever from Star Wars Marvel talked about, Stan Lee, and you start doing these weird spin-offs, but it's just when they're not in good hands, you're just putting out another crappy movie and putting a good name on it.
Yeah. And Marvel, I'm the biggest Marvel fan ever. But with the Marvel movies, what they've done is they've covered. Everybody likes the origin stories. You want to know the origin of Spider-Man, the origin of Wolverine. They're amazing.
I like Batman Begins for
like,
DC.
Dang.
Yeah, you want to know
that was my favorite.
They've retold the origin of Batman a million times. Somehow that one never fails.
Every Batman movie begins with his parents getting killed.
I know, and same with Superman or Spider-Man a lot too, right? But they've run out of like the main character origin stories of Marvel.
Yep.
And you're right, it is all like spin-offs, and I'm kind of like, what's next?
There's not many left. Could be good, but they're just not in the same brilliant hands, because remember, a lot of these things become big because they are in the hands of like a genius, which someone who directs something who's a genius, it's kind of like a phenomenon, right? So when you get George Lucas or a Christopher Nolan or a whoever it is, or even actors like Robin Williams or whatever it is, and then you take that same property but put it in someone else's mindset who isn't that same type of genius, even if you have the brand, it just isn't going to communicate the same, because you're just putting a good, putting a lipstick on a pig, as they say.
And it's not even necessarily the quality all the time. Like when we were kids growing up and I went to the comic book store and I scanned across which book I wanted to read, I was like, dang, Spider-Man looks awesome. Ghost Rider, that's awesome. Captain Marvel, nope, don't want to read that. It was like, I just didn't want to, I don't want to see a Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, whatever it is. Like, I just didn't want to read that.
Yeah, what they call it, the MCU, is what everyone's saying. Like, the MCU has failed. I'm not into that stuff, so I don't really care what.
MCU.
You know what I think what kills it too is a lot of times they'll try to like do their own thing, but they'll almost annihilate the old stuff. Like, you know how how they made Luke at the end. Like,
Oh, that was the worst.
how they made Luke, they killed off Han Solo a horrible way. I'm like, dude, these guys were supposed to have like a sweet life.
Yeah, they made
like,
Luke a loser.
Yeah, they literally made Luke horrible. Han died by his own son. I'm like, dude, this is kind of sucks.
Yeah, the Luke thing was just like, what were you thinking writing that?
Yeah.
Like, Luke is Star Wars.
Literally.
And you're making the hero like a loser. Like, kind of like a weirdo, too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a creep almost.
They made him so weak. It was insane.
He was a big sissy. And I was just like, what have you done?
What is the ideal like game night for you guys?
Ooh,
Like, when
blue
you're planning
cheese and
one.
Curtis's mom.
Give me those cards right now, you son of a gun. We're literally starting it off right there too. It's gonna
By the
suck.
way, I love Curtis's mom so much.
That's a good night. Wow. Holy moly.
I'll take that from you.
If you guys ever had a bunch of friends over, like, what are the games that you are choosing for your night?
I think that the big question is what console is pulled out? Ultimate game night. Now Ben actually is doing like an ultimate little game night soon.
Yeah.
Ben though brought out the weirdest titles we've ever heard of. Ben's bringing out like all the Wii Waggleware games. Hidden gems, as he says. But I think for me, as much as I want to say the best systems of all time are the Super Nintendo and the NES in my brain, they don't lend themselves to parties as much as like an N64
GameCube.
Or GameCube. GameCube is a great
GameCube.
game night.
That's the one I'm doing for sure.
Yeah.
Mario parties. Those are always a blast.
Yep.
I would say even like on newer consoles, what I'll do, like my son and I, we have like the PlayStation, I don't know, we pay for whatever the most expensive one is because we want any game to be able to play.
Right.
But I'll go online and look up like, just go through the multiplayer games and we just download them all. And we'll just go through and find them. And a lot of times there's a lot of really good indie games that focus on multiplayer, like Duck Game.
Ooh,
Remember
Duck Game's
Samurai
good.
Gun?
Dude, I love those days. Even that what is it? Wizards and Warriors. Now, what was the one?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. Gauntlet?
Gauntlet. It was a weird Gauntlet for the PS4.
Gauntlet's one of my
It
favorite
was
games.
so good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
4-player?
So
4-player.
Yeah.
So
Gauntlet 4-player. Pretty
You
good.
have-
Sega
pretty
Dreamcast
satisfying.
Gauntlet is great, man.
I've never played that one.
Gauntlet on like, even the old days, it started out good, but now like the Gauntlets.
Yeah, they're insane.
What was the one? It was like Slayer Edition or something on PS4.
no, that was I would say Xbox, right?
There was one that we played a ton of
Yeah, Halo.
online. And it was not Halo.
Dude, Halo.
I actually wasn't a Halo
Besides
guy.
Broforce? Because Broforce is pretty legit.
Broforce is incredible.
Yeah.
I wish they
With
would
a
make
bunch of guys?
Broforce 2. Why
They
have
did.
they did?
I thought they did. Didn't someone tell me they made a Broforce 2? Was that you, Ben?
I'm looking this up. I'm looking this
Oh,
up.
DLC.
they
DLC. It was a
did.
DLC.
Okay, what is you get? All right, just pretend. Chris, we'll go around the room. It's game night at your house tomorrow night. We're coming over. One console, one game.
Oh man.
And everybody think about that. One console, one game. Don't give me this.
No, 2 consoles,
What?
2 games.
No, stop
Please,
it.
please, because
No. One
I don't want to
console-
just be a
no.
Nintendo guy.
One console, one game. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
One console.
And friends are coming over tomorrow. What is it?
I wanted to say
gonna
like Mortal
be?
Kombat and.
Oh God, I wouldn't be coming over.
I know.
I'd be calling in sick.
But I,
I think
wouldn't
I got
do it
it.
because it's not for everybody. So if I was having a bunch of people over, honestly, the Mario parties, in my opinion, are like the most universally.
Which one?
Oh,
Which system?
I would say GameCube, Mario Party 4, 5, or 6. Any of them. Mario Party 4.
Mario Party 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good choice.
Okay.
I feel anybody can jump in and out of those games, and they're always really, really, really fun.
Okay.
And they take a good amount of time. They're fun.
Nice.
Okay. Ricky?
I'm going to go weird and go. I'll have to have 4 of the same system and 4 TVs. Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
used
if
to
I'm
do that
gonna
back in
put,
the
if I'm
day,
gonna play
man.
with the guys, I want it to be all night, and that's what we're gonna play.
CS.
What's the food?
Ooh, Slim Jims and Gatorade.
Oh man,
Just like back in the day.
and Snickers.
Snickers.
You have to have Doritos too, man.
Oh, that's true.
Nacho
I do
cheese
love
Doritos.
with some Tapatio and lime.
I think I would have to. I'd probably surprise people on this one, but I'd probably go Wii U Smash Brothers.
That is a good one.
I love that Smash Brothers.
I'm not showing up.
Me,
I don't want to
Mikey,
go.
Wii U.
me, Mikey, and my buddy Ralphie used to play so many matches of that at our workplace before the boss would get there. We just go for we'd literally come 2 hours early just to play it all morning.
What about that? But Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land is
I
a
forgot about
good
Nintendo
one,
Land.
but
It's really good.
Two players,
Multiplayer.
necessarily?
No, that's remember you do the Link one, and that's
Yeah.
like 6 players. 4
What'd you
players?
pick?
N64,
Okay.
GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
that's
yep.
right. Man, that game's hard to play though.
Yeah,
Multiplayer.
The controllers.
It's not like how I remember it.
Can you bring the Retro Brawlers controllers though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day with my neighborhood friends, we did slaps only.
Oh yeah, we used to.
That is the most funniest thing that you could ever do with like having multiplayer. It's slaps only, bro. Just all day.
Knives only in
I
COD.
love the golden gun. No, the one shot one. Just turn the corner and
Yeah.
Let's
Done.
hear, I'm curious to hear Curtis's.
Oh my! If you're gonna pin me down to one system, it's gonna be Nintendo GameCube with Mario Kart. It's just one of those things where
Double
it's
Dash?
like
It is
Double
good.
dash.
100%.
Yeah, of course.
I think that was the best version of Mario Kart ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Almost as good as N64.
What drink are you bringing? One drink.
Oh, just Modelo's for me. I'm a Modelo guy.
Modelo time
Is
full.
that what you want?
Yeah.
What you get for
Yeah, I'll take some Modelo's.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows this. It's a gamer drink, Mountain Dew.
Which just solid? Straight up or like a
yeah,
Baja
just
Blast?
no original.
Okay.
Especially for like Halo 3, how they promoted.
Yeah,
all-
they had
like that-
crossovers.
yeah, that whole era.
Here's a word did the same thing with like the Code
Yeah.
Red, I think.
I love that era.
So I
Cold
can't
Red.
drink soda, but if I could, I might have to go with a Mountain Dew also.
Yeah.
It just kind of hits when you're gaming.
Yeah.
It just hits. Ricky already said Gatorade. Is that your drink of choice? For
Oh
the-
no, that was just because that was our
Okay.
Howie's snack.
Well, what's yours for the people?
Ooh,
One.
I wouldn't even go soda. I would just go Oreo shake.
Ooh, I would
Bro,
stay
he's-
all night.
yeah, okay,
I
first
would
of all,
stay all night.
you're
bro.
spoiling.
Milkshake.
You're
Nicole making them
spoiling.
like-
Actually, that sounds so. This podcast, every time we do this at a night, and I never regret fasting more than every time we're doing this.
We're telling Ben we want milkshakes, Ben. No, we want you to make us milkshakes. It's not the same.
That DK, I can't fast that night. Remind me not to fast that night. All of you pressure me to not
Hey,
fast.
I promise I will not have soda because of
You can have it. I won't drink
you.
it.
I'm not gonna have any.
Did you know I'm only like a week away from a year of no soda?
Good for you.
Nice.
I've never thought I'd be
Wait, you
able
said
to.
a week?
Yeah, a week
Oh.
away, like a year of
Oh,
no
you said-
soda.
Oh, okay.
No, not a week clean, a year clean.
Oh, gotcha.
You're
Don't
like,
let
oh,
him
wow,
lie to
wait.
you. Just kidding.
Curtis, what was your drink of toys?
Dude, I mean, if I'm thinking of like non-soda, because I don't really care for that too much, I would say like Hawaiian Punch.
Oh, what a
good.
weirdo drink, dude.
No, that's
so
so
sweet.
It's sweet.
Man,
It's fire though,
I have
man.
to cut
46
it with
grams of
water,
sugar.
dude. It's too much.
I'm like, dude,
I
this
got
thing's
it.
You guys,
powerful.
as you guys get older, you're like, let's just do some little bit of Crystal Light over here. Let's switch it over. No.
What kind of chip?
Doritos, nacho
Which
cheese.
one?
100%.
Nacho cheese, man. They're the best.
Elliot?
I would agree with that.
He's
Nacho
gonna say
cheese.
Takis or something.
Takis, please. So bad.
I don't know, just the typical Tostitos with
With some dip?
some dip on the side.
Lime Tostitos?
Yeah, lime.
Lime.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, las
The hint.
Tostitos, I eat you,
yeah.
papi.
I'll give you a
Yeah, hell
heck
yeah.
I think I would go Doritos, but I'd probably go Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
I'm a Cool
Oh,
Ranch guy.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
I am like very hungry now.
Dude, my mouth's getting
With
watered,
cream
right?
cheese. Have you ever had Doritos
Oh,
Cool Ranch?
Why do you make things
Ah,
worse? Did you know what he
dude.
said? Doritos with cream cheese.
What are you doing to Doritos?
Dude, do you add strawberries
Try
to that
it
too?
sometime, and you'll never question it, dude. It is so good.
Never quite.
White
Cool
people are
Ranch
weird, dude.
in cream cheese is so delicious.
Why-
You don't mean sour cream?
No,
probably
cream
knew it was sour
cheese.
cream.
It's funny because
Yeah.
on one of these agree or disagrees, it literally says only people over 78 like blue cheese. It's
I'm
similar
telling
to
you,
that.
dipped in cream cheese is unbelievable.
That is
Ben
not
knows. Ben
Well,
knows.
it's
Ben
like
knows.
chips and dip, like when you were a kid and you had chips and dip with like
freaking white people, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
I don't
put
even know
some
what's going
Doritos
on.
up in there. That's
Nah,
not
nah, nah.
Like the whipped cream cheese. Whipped cream
If
cheese.
you do Doritos, you got to do them right.
Ben, we need to eat a lot at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to like eat a lot.
Hey, are you coming, Elliot?
To where?
My house on Sunday.
Put him on the spot in the podcast. I like it.
That's right.
I don't know. I didn't see an invitation, but
Hey!
I asked you
Let me
at
cool
the
him down.
con, and I think you said you were working or something.
I'm
He asked you to-
not gonna remember, bro. There's so many things going on. Remember the fight?
You're coming.
I'm gonna eat. Ben, I'm warning you. I will not be fasting. So if I get a break from fasting, I'm gonna eat a lot.
Thank you for getting suggestions.
Like I plan on like 10K calories that night. For
Sick,
sure.
sick, sick. He's gonna run a whole marathon.
Slim Jim, some Modelo's.
Okay.
Doritos.
Shakes. Well, I'll go to
Ooh,
DK.
shakes.
I love
will go to
DK.
Dude, I'll pay
too.
for a round of shakes.
There's literally
I'll
a
pay for
DQ
it.
like right next to him, so
Oh, I
he's
meant
good.
DQ. I said DK. What an idiot.
DQ.
Yeah, it's right next down the street, so he's right.
DQ, huh?
All right. That was so fun, guys, at your game night. Let's get dessert. What's it gonna be?
I thought Ricky never chose a
Ricky
chip.
chose an actual. Ricky didn't choose a chip.
Oh, what?
What's your chip?
My
I'm
chip?
sorry.
Probably
I
hot
forgot.
Cheetos or something.
It'd probably be hot Cheetos, but if it wasn't that, it's Doritos with lots of lime and tapatio.
I knew
Or
you're
Cholula.
you're so
Oh, it's
Mexi,
so good,
bro.
dude. It's so good.
Ricky, every time he gets Doritos, he won't just eat it. He puts them in a little bag, pours some lime in there, some tapatio,
Mexican
shakes
style.
it. Yeah,
It's
100%.
so good.
What kind of Doritos?
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah, the nacho cheese. It can't be the
Nacho
Cool Ranch. Cool
cheese
Ranch,
with all
you
that
can't touch
stuff
Cool
on
Ranch.
it?
It's just good like
Lime
that.
and tapatio, and then you
So
shake
Mexican.
Dude.
I'd like to
When I-
try that.
It's
So
good.
I used
It's
to
good.
live right next to that
Really
Vallarta
good.
off of I and 20th.
Yeah.
I would literally just get the carne asada there and some cheese and just throw it with Doritos. Dude.
What was
Oh,
your
that
chip?
sounds good right now.
It's
Yo,
nacho cheese Doritos. Jeez Louise, I can't say it. I got so excited.
What was it? They have a
Nachos.
thing called what's it called? Tosti Locos or something like that.
oh, dude.
They put like peanuts in there too.
Ew,
That's too
no.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, and chamoy too.
You know what I saw that I want to try? It's a burrito, a carne asada burrito with like chips inside. One's like hot Cheetos and the other one's Doritos. Was like,
Oh no, I
actually
do.
wanna try
That's
that.
how I eat burritos.
oh, so
I only
good.
load them up with chips. I will not eat a burrito that's not loaded up with
Taco Bell
chips.
did with Frito Lay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
mean, Fritos.
The Doritos tacos are legit
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
delicious.
They are pretty
Taco
good.
Bell right now has Cheez-Its that are this big.
Oh, dude, I just saw that.
They're like
commercial
8
last
inches
night.
big. They're like
I
8
literally
inches
just saw that
wide and
last
long.
night.
They're
That's-
giant.
Cheez-It?
They're the
The
size of your
cracker?
face.
A cracker.
Yes, a Cheez-It. Yes.
What do they do with it? They just
You eat it.
one cracker.
There's nothing in it.
It's like a,
Welcome to your Cheez-It.
like a chalupa.
John Riggs tried it on his channel. I was like, wow, nice Cheez-It, bro.
I mean,
He's like,
Cheez-Its are pretty good.
Yeah.
Do love
what's your
Cheez-Its.
dessert though?
Oh man, I think I'd go with some fudgesicles would be good.
I don't know why. The way you looked at me, the way you looked at me in the eyes and everything, I was like, oh, I think I go. What's your good, bro? The frick, who says that? The way you said that too.
I'd like a fudgesicle.
cheese fudgesicles.
Oh,
So we know like Chris likes eating brown solid poop.
yes. So Alaskan pipelines. What about you?
I mean, I don't know if this is simple or not, but just flan.
That is delicious.
Flan.
That's so
Flan is
good.
good.
I am gonna say flan is F tier for me.
What?
I hate
Flan
flan.
is S tier for me.
F.
man.
You
are
Let's go. I'll
tripping,
give you
bro.
You
another
have to get
thumbs
you have to
up.
get the right one.
Ben
I'm more of
Especially the one that like slices
Yeah.
perfect.
There's
Disgusting.
there are some that are bad. but
No,
you
don't
get
give it
a
to
good
him.
one.
Don't give him a 5-5.
Dude,
Flan is literally the garb.
it's so
Then it's the
good.
garb, right?
Don't give it to him.
Jello, just the
It's so
texture is
good,
so-
Jello.
Ben, where did you have flan, bro?
I don't know. My girlfriend gets it.
That's what it is. It's
Nice,
called flan.
nice.
No, I've had it from all the different Mexican restaurants because they're always like, "Oh, you get free flan on your birthday." I'm like, "I'm good,
but
dude."
there's one that looks like cheesy, right? And then there's one that it cuts like butter.
You talking
One
about
that cuts like
You
butter.
guys,
Tres leches?
So
you guys
good.
bring me good flan and change my mind. You have yet to change my mind on blue cheese. I'm waiting.
Tres leches
I
is
haven't
good
brought it.
too.
I'll bring it to Ben's
Yeah.
party.
Let's
You want
Okay.
to try it?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
touch that.
For me, for dessert, it would be shakes, like Ricky said, straight up shakes.
Del
If I
Taco
had to pick
shakes.
the flavor, it'd be mint and chip.
That's what
No.
my son likes. They're pretty
Wait,
good.
mint with chocolate? So you like brushing
Yeah.
your teeth
You
with
never had mint
chocolate?
chip?
Oh,
Mint
dude,
chip,
disgusting.
pretty good.
Pretty good
Mint
as a shake.
chocolate chips, awesome.
Ricky,
It's refreshing.
Since I already said shake, I'm gonna go with a churro, but it has to have that dipping sauce. But a fresh churro.
Ooh, churro
It has to
be
be
good.
freshly
a
made.
fresh churro
man.
with dipping sauce with vanilla ice cream
It's
is
freaking
fire.
good.
A dip in a nice vanilla bean. Oh, Tillamook. Oh. Curtis,
What?
You never had Tillamook?
Tillamook.
You don't get Tillamook?
No, I don't. I just choose whatever's
It's
ice cream it
It's
is.
usually the most expensive ice cream when you go to the grocery store.
I don't know. I just see ice cream. I'm like, well, it just says chocolate on it. I'm pretty good to go with it.
Oh, you're a kid.
Yeah, no, I go with whatever's on sale.
Bargain bin.
No, I would say that like I get like the variety of drumsticks, the fudge, the caramel, and the chocolate.
That is the worst. That's like what my kids get. And I'm like, ew, dude.
Hey, I like it, dude. That's fire.
You get to bring one celebrity.
Dang.
One
celebrity.
I think I know who.
I hate most of them, so it's easy for me to pick.
I think I get along with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I think he'd be a good one.
And you know what? The voice of Guardians of the Galaxy, voice of Mario, it'd be a good conversation for a game night too. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Christo. It's like someone from a porn film.
Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger would be pretty darn awesome to hang out with and play games with. I could see him being pretty funny. He's got a pretty good sense of humor,
Arnold.
too.
Eliota?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh, that's because you just like him, bro.
Yeah, I feel like him and I will get along, like joking around, crossing the line, all that stuff.
Always crossing the line.
Yeah, always crossing the line. Yeah.
I mean, it's a celebrity for me, but I'd pick freaking Shigeru Miyamoto.
That would be good. Okay.
I would just want to talk to that guy like you've never talked.
Okay.
I want to find out every detail of how he thought of games and this and that, and let it ride.
I'm picking Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I feel like
I could see
comedian
that.
would be a good choice. I was going to say Chris Rock or somebody would be pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, he'd be
too.
funny.
Yeah, that'd be a fun night. Just smacking everybody.
The loser gets smacked by Will. Get him, Will.
Before we close
did
it
Ricky
out.
pick his? Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did Chris Pratt.
Closes out Curtis.
No,
Pratt.
not yet. I just want to know: are you guys like a peanut butter, like the creamy peanut butter type of guy, or do you like the nuts in the peanut butter?
You know Chris likes the nuts.
I was gonna say,
Mr. Fudgesicle over there. A Fudgesicle dipped in peanut butter.
I do like the nuts. I will take nutty peanut butter.
I sometimes wonder how my wife's married to me. Our conversations are so freaking childish. But for real talk, I probably creamy.
Creamy.
100%.
Creamy.
Yeah.
Dang,
Sorry,
I'm the only nut guy.
Yeah,
over here.
Yes,
You like the texture on the tongue, we know. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and please go visit Elliot at GameTower.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
All of our full episodes will be in audio in the description. And like I said, guys, I am having a stroke, so I'm just coming back from the expo. And guys, it'll be coming up soon. Announcements. How about you guys? Over there, huh? Retro World.
Retro
World,
yes.
August 23rd through 25th, Hartford, Connecticut, coming up soon.
All
I have
right.
a whole nother show to do.
That'll be $20.
I want to go.
Yeah,
I want to go, man.
Come on out.
Yeah, I just want
Nice.
to experience.
I know
all of-
Curtis is coming.
Yep. Curto.
Maybe.
I'll be in Hawaii the week after or before. I can't remember,
I
so
know
I can't.
everybody comes. You two bail every year. It's all right.
Anyway,
Dude.
just want to say thank you, Elliot, for being here, man. Great conversation as always, man.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate y'all.
And we're done.